offensive line.
Alright,
Tell them that
sweet.
they control
We should be
your
up now.
leverage
Let me check
guys,
my
win
channel.
the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating.
And the ball is knocked out.
He just fumbled.
By the Cardinals. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip
What's up, what's up, Booth? Yeah, we're watching Milky and Luca's game. Milky just got some cheese.
Big time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over.
Yeah, he just cheesed the fumble off Luca.
The first carry now. This is Johnson.
Oh, he just called for holding.
Are y'all broadcast?
Yeah, man. We're live.
So a decent game.
Oh, shit.
Not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
All right, sweet. We got Milkman coming out here. 1st and 17 after a long holding call. He's got Josh Rosen, the gun center receiver in motion. Or is he going to drop back to throw? He's going to look. He's going to fired by J.J. Nelson there. Looking about first down, but we're going to have another holding call there by Milky. That young, inexperienced, or either veteran old offensive line is not very good. Another holding penalty there will set Milky behind the sticks. Today here I'm joined by Wealthy here. He's going to make an appearance. One of the better players in the league. I figured we'd get a good mind here with me. This is going to be just another simple check down there to looks to a tight end on the drag route there. He's going to fall forward there for about 16. Josh Rosen certainly struggling here out of the gate with all these penalties. Not good if you have a rookie quarterback. But the Cardinals nonetheless are 10-2. As they're looking to, set themselves up as one of the dominant teams in the NFC, along with the Redskins and the Bears. As for Detroit on the other side here, they've been struggling out of the gates a bit. I know they're a sub-500 team, but I don't think it's really an indicator of the Lions' user skill. I believe he's a lot better than that shows. Just struggling a bit with a subpar Lions roster.
I don't think anyone saw the Cardinals coming in at 10-2 with the roster that they have. I think Milkman has done a great job with this team, and goes deep.
Oof. You gotta watch. Milkman will be cheesing now at these. He ain't afraid to.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's kept this Cardinals team, above water is the offense, because I think everyone knows that his defense is Swiss cheese, but that offense is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah, but that offense is also an ebook offense, Nonetheless, he's going to have those cheesy plays in there that you get guys.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Rosen.
you're right.
Yeah, especially.
Ooh.
Oh, man. And Luca gets a nice punt return there, making some shifty moves there. I'm not quite sure who that was, but he definitely made a couple people miss, so that'll set.
Looks like it was Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones. There we go. Marvin Jones, he's been in the league for a while, and he's really just an above-average wide receiver, I would say. He's never been a true number one, but I think in terms of him, you can definitely do a lot worse than Marvin Jones there. Or no, that was 13 on the punt return. That was Marvin Jones with a catch there across the middle, just a little drag route concept. Nonetheless, it was a good return though. With the Lions here, they're very limited. You think they'd be a little bit better offense than they've shown. They've certainly struggled with the tight end position and running backs. You would hope Kerryon Johnson can, come really take that step up and be a starting caliber running back in the NFL. But Matthew Stafford has all the talent in the world. I think he's a quarterback. You can win the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. I think he's definitely talented. He's got one of the strongest arms in the league. He can certainly sling the rock.
Honestly, I think he's talented, but I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's a leader, because he's been in the league for about a decade now, and he still doesn't have a playoff win, which is honestly quite remarkable when you look at, where he was picked and how he had Calvin Johnson for a couple of years,
Yeah, but
the talent's certainly there.
Looks like we got some movement up front, and that's going to be an offsides there on Milkman. Trying to play Deion Buchanan, who's a safety at every down linebacker, and that's not typically what he should be doing. Looked like he was trying to squeeze in there and get a cheesy blitz on that one, but nonetheless, that'll set the Lions up for a first down here at about midfield at the Cardinals' own 48-yard line. Kenny Galladay is a receiver definitely to watch on this one. I think he's going to garner attention from Patrick Peterson.
Goes deep.
He's going to go deep, and that's going to be just barely broken up. He had a step on Patrick Peterson as I said that.
You don't see that very often. Patrick Peterson is one of the elite corners in this game. It's honestly kind of surprising to me that Luke actually took a shot at Pat Pete, given the fact that
he got burnt. There's no way to put it. I mean, Kenny Galladay, I think he's a guy that you can certainly mold into a number one wide receiver. He's got the height, he's got the speed,
100%.
He's got all the all the skills. That was a huge play there. I mean, the receiver took a lick on the post route, but
yeah, Trey Boston's known for his hitting ability.
Yeah, that certainly was a huge hit. That is a strength. If this Cardinals team on paper has a strength, it definitely is their secondary. I mean, they've got a ton of safeties. He's got DJ Swearinger. They've got Trey Boston. They've got Budda Baker. They've got Patrick Peterson. Those are all very, Patrick Peterson obviously brings a lot of the star power, but a lot of those other guys are very, very serviceable star DBs. As you see Luke grind out about a yard or two there with LeGarrette Blount. I mean, LeGarrette Blount, while he's not a burner, he's certainly a guy that's always going to fall forward, and especially with the state of Madden where we're at. Do you think these power backs certainly are going to prove a key here until Madden fixes their stuff? Guys are just ripping off, 4 or 5 yard runs consistently because guys don't go down on the first hit.
Hopefully we'll get that fixed soon, but I don't think we should put our faith in EA.
No, I mean, it's not game-breaking. It's something that I think gives a little, if anything, as you say, that it's going to be a nice slant there, complete to Kenny Galladay, good for about 15 yards. And that's going to set up first and goal for the Lions, and they're gonna no-huddle their way down in here as they run it out with an unorthodox triple tight end set to the right, and Kenny Galladay, the only receiver on the field for him. Arizona's trying to counter him with a huge 4-4 big man front, and as we say that, it looked like LeGarrette Blount got in on that last play.
I thought he got in. I don't know. Maybe you want to challenge that, or I don't know.
It looked like he would have broke the plane on that one. As that's where you see guys like LeGarrette Blount get their work in this goal line formation.
That's where he makes his money.
Yeah, man.
This is honestly, I didn't expect the Lions to come out in the first half and drive the ball down the field. Honestly, being on the 1 yard line against Milkman is honestly it's quite surprising to me because usually when these two users play, it's usually a lot closer, but seems to me like he's going to get the first step.
He's going to try and power it up there, this time with Corey Grant. That's not a running back you want to see on the goal line there. He's more of a speedster type running back that you're going to look to get on the edge and get in space there. So he's more of the home run threat compared to guys like LeGarrette Blount. As they're going to come out here, 2 tight ends to the right now, a fullback in the game. They're going to have Kenny Galladay as the only receiver to the left. They're going to send Kenny Galladay in motion. And it's going to be a fullback dive up the middle, and Arizona's going to come up huge on that play. And they're going to actually call holding on that one.
He accepted it.
As Arizona wants to move them back rather than set them up a 4th and goal on the 1. I mean, if you're Detroit in this situation, playoffs are pretty much out of the picture. You got to think maybe on 4th and 1 they're on the goal line, they go for it. I think that's definitely something that wouldn't be out of the question. So I can see where Milkman's coming from. If that's his strategy, he wants to move them back and make it harder for them to score if he ultimately thinks the Lions are going to go for it. So we'll see what they can come up with here now. Lions are set up on 3rd and goal on the 10 after that holding penalty. Stafford drops back to third. He's going to set up the screen there to Corey Grant, who's going to get absolutely swallowed up there. Robert Kindici made a huge hustle and effort play on that screen.
Robert Kindici is a guy that's been playing out of his mind this season. It's one of the few bright spots on that Cardinals defensive line.
Yeah,
Very young player. He's got a lot of potential in this league.
He had 2 or 3 sacks against me when I played him. I mean, he's playing very well. You saw why he was a first-round draft pick, and a pretty high one at that. He was a guy that had all the talent coming out of Ole Miss, just some off-the-field stuff. Really struggled a bit, but maybe he's thriving in this 3-4 scheme. We'll see what's doing there. Maybe he's just been playing out of scheme for however long. So that sets up Detroit now with a 3-0 lead over Arizona. As you saw there, I think if you're Detroit, you just got to keep playing your game here. His game plan isn't anything crazy. It's just run the football, keep the ball out of that explosive Arizona offense, and control the clock. As you can see, they're outgaining them 71 yards to 29. It's going to be a handoff here to David Johnson off the right end. He's going to have a hole, and he's going to evade another tackle over his shoulder there as he just bursted off 30 yards, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. It didn't look like anyone on Detroit's defense wanted to tackle him there. As guys just, they almost pulled up in a way that they were scared to tackle him. And that is not what you want if you're Detroit. And you see right there, as we were just saying before, this is an explosive offense here for Arizona, especially when you have David Johnson clicking on all cylinders. They're going to spell back Chase Edmonds, who's going to take a handoff up the middle for about 1 or 2. Actually, count that 6 as he falls forward there.
Going back to David Johnson earlier, many people forget how dominant he was in 2017. But in 2018, he tore his Achilles. Or was that when did he tear his Achilles?
He broke his arm, didn't he? And then or something. But either way, he had 2 freak injuries nonetheless. But he was almost a borderline MVP candidate. 1 or 2 years that he's been healthy. So, and he's been injured in our league right now. So he's finally healthy now, and you can see he can make big plays when he touches the football, in the passing game and the running game. I mean, this was a guy that was better than Le'Veon Bell when he played, or if not,
arguably.
Just as good. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are there's gonna be a decision coming up on the Cardinals if they're gonna have to pay David Johnson because he's been injured for most of this year. But we've seen as he's on the field, he can give us production, but.
This is going to be another miss there for Arizona. I think that's 2 missed field goals on the day for them. That is coming back to bite them in the ass. Actually, I believe they locked him up to a 3-year extension, just like in real life. I believe for almost $10 million a year, I think is what the contract was. We gave him the real life contract, so he's gonna have him here to build around Josh Rosen and help with his development. I mean, obviously this team goes as far as Josh Rosen can throw the ball. You know what I mean? This is a team that's dependent on that rookie quarterback and his success, and it's gonna be a big swat there by, I believe, a linebacker got his hands on it as they punted it back to Arizona, as they punted it back to Detroit. Stafford looks like he threw it right up, and linebacker got a hand on it. As Detroit sent the house on that play, they sent 7. Arizona sent the house on that play, being very aggressive. I mean,
yeah, and this offensive line for the Detroit Lions, I mean, it's not something to mess with. Like these guys, they got players.
It's at least an average to above average line. I mean, you've got Taylor Decker, who's an above average left tackle. You've still got old reliable Josh Sitton or T.J. Lang. I can't quite remember, one of them over there. You've got Ricky Wagner, who's actually not that bad of a right tackle. You've got Frank Ragnow, who is a pretty big pick, who's actually pinned out pretty well for him. It's a pretty solid line. It's definitely got a bunch of pieces you can work with. So if
it's clear that the
if you're Arizona, you're gonna.
Oh, sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
It's clear that the Detroit Lions are trying to build around Stafford because all these assets that are going into the offense, but. It's coming back to bite them because their defense is honestly it's not very good, and like we've seen it time and time again where Stafford tries to build up a lead, but he's always playing from behind because his defense can't stop anybody.
You know, and that comes with that Matt Patricia. They're trying to emulate that success they have in New England for how many years now. It's a multiple look defense that really takes guys that fit that scheme that are versatile players. Excuse me, that can play a lot of different roles and help you out with rushing the passer, stopping the run, whatever it might be. You know, it's a tough defense that you have to build. You really have to have the right passes. Stafford sailed that one there. It's something you're gonna look in the off season. I think Detroit definitely will put some money into that defense, especially when they have guys like Darius Slay and Gerard Davis. Even an aging Glover Quinn there helps them out. Ziggy Ansah, it's gonna be a question: are they gonna resign him? Detroit going forward, I think they need a premier pass rusher now that Ziggy Ansah has been banged up and healthy and
Definitely
been a shell of his former self. I mean, he's also 30 years old, so he's not getting any younger. That's a huge run there by Corey Grant to pick up about 8 on a stretch run there. And, you know, Corey Grant can sort of be this type of thunder and lightning combo with Marshawn, or even just Kerryon Johnson. I'm surprised. I don't know if he's injured or not, but Kerryon Johnson, I thought very highly of him coming out of college, and I think he can sort of be that complete do-it-all bruising running back that you can kind of build, that every team needs. As Detroit lines up here in the Tyler, and it's going to be a fullback dive, and they're going to not be even expecting it as the fullback getting loose, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down for 16 yards. That play just got set up perfectly there. Arizona blitzed, but they didn't blitz right up the hole that was big enough that my fat ass could get through it. Damn.
It seems to me like as we reach the end of this first quarter, I think Detroit came to play. You know, they're firing on all cylinders right now. They have a good passing attack, rushing. You know, fullbacks getting into it. What do you think the Cardinals have to fix up to put some points on the board and stop this Lions offense in the second quarter?
Yeah, so for the second quarter here, we've got Detroit knocking on the red zone here. They're at the 16-yard line. If they can get a touchdown here, it's huge because they've pretty much dominated time of possession. Arizona's made it, they've had a couple throws where they're just off, and Arizona's actually putting 8 guys in the box now to stop that. You can see they're bringing that safety down in some weird hybrid cheese position there. That's the only reason that guy got free. Did you see that over there? That's some cheese over there.
Yeah, practically daring him to pass, to be honest. I'm not really sure, if I see an 8-man in front, you still run it. I'd audible into a pass right there. Not really sure don't really understand the play call right there.
Yeah, I mean, they're daring you to pass it, and Kenny Galladay has had a very, very good game so far, and Patrick Peterson. He's gotten open. He's converted a couple third downs, and you can't ask for much more out of Kenny Galladay going up against one of those premier shutdown man-to-man corners. I mean, basically, if you're Arizona, you can play, go guard this guy one-on-one and shut him down the entire game, and Patrick Peterson's going to win that more often than not, as LeGarrette Blount gets stoned there for about 2 to 3 yards. So it looks like Detroit's going to come out on 3rd and 9 after that failed run play there. They're going to go up with a bunch, right? Or a wide bunch nonetheless. As Stafford's going to drop back to throw. He's going to be wide open. Touchdown. Kenny Galladay is open. We're going to have a penalty. And that's I don't know about that one there. That's a bailout there from Milton.
Seems like the Arizona defense is getting bailed out by the referees on 3rd down. It just seems like, touchdown, and it just comes right back because of a holding. I think
they beat him one-on-one there. Patrick Peterson got toasted there. I understand that wasn't his responsibility, but, I mean, Detroit outcoached him there, and they got bailed out by that cheesy holding penalty. Is now you're going to make the Arizona defense look pretty good on that, when really it was just a poor decision there by the game. So we'll see what Detroit has to come up with now, as Stafford's going to drop back to pass on this long 3rd and 19.
Oh, it seems like he switched there.
Cardinals. Oh, it looked like he did switch. Watch that one back.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm not sure if that was I'm not really sure if that was legal.
It looked like one to me.
What are your thoughts?
Nah, watching it back, it actually is not that bad. Alrighty, well. It is what it is, and that's going to lead to a Detroit field goal attempt. As now we're going to have a 6-0 Detroit lead, as Arizona hasn't been able to get much of anything. They had that one big chunk play rushing the ball, but if Detroit can continue to play defense, they're going to have to win more off more than just field goals. But I mean, they've been playing very well as D. Johnson gets loose, or David Johnson gets loose there for about 8 or 9 yards. Actually, he's going to pick up the first after he fell forward there.
I think this drive is very. I think it's very important for the Cardinals to put at least some points up because right now the Lions have all the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though it's been the drives have been killed by these penalties, but I just don't.
No, yeah, it's been killed. Sorry to interrupt, but Milkman ran a trap play and then instantly sprints out to the left on a trap. Not necessarily what how the play would work in real life. That's kind of cheap.
Yeah, just blatantly ignoring his blocks. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what that was, but 2nd and 7, and Rosen takes a snap, running back to his right, calls a couple audibles.
He's dropped back in the pass. He's going to roll it to his right there, looking to find someone open. It's going to be a huge post play. Wow. This is going to be caught by Larry Fitzgerald.
Seems like Larry's still got it after, he's just 30. What is he? I'm not really sure how old he is. He's been in the league for so long, but that's that cover two, man. You give this Cardinals a shot, and he'll definitely take it. Just have to see if they'll capitalize here in the red zone.
This is going to be an inside zone there, and they're going to get a penalty. That didn't look like a face mask to me. But nonetheless, that's going to be a 1st and goal there after a huge 55-yard play. You line it up there. You're going to run the inside zone concept out of the gun. Running shotgun on the goal line. Very cheese. That's highly frowned upon. Another stone play there as Detroit is coming to play and hit hard, man. Detroit's defense, as we've said, while they haven't been anything spectacular, you've got some decent pieces, though. As we said, Gerard Davis, Deshaun Hand in the middle there. They've actually got Snacks Harrison. As the Cardinals are going to run a toss again, and Detroit is all over that. As they've
Detroit was ready for that, yeah.
Yeah. And that
was pretty cheesy, calling the same play just flipped. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I'm glad that the Lions defense was ready for it because
as they had just
now
seen it before. Yeah.
Yep. We don't really expect anything less from the Cardinals, but that's still it should be frowned upon.
Yeah, as we'll see what Arizona can come up with now. Rosen dropping back. He's looking. He's going to roll it to his right, and that's going to be a sack there by Ziggy Ansah. Huge play there. I don't think he was necessarily looking to run as it did. I mean, he had 3 Detroit defenders in front of him. He must have been looking to try and dump it off somewhere as Ziggy Ansah tallies up his 8th sack of the year. As this field goal is actually going to be up and good for once.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that Ziggy Ansah was a Pro Bowler a couple years ago. Injuries have derailed his career a little bit, but when he's on the field, he's pretty productive. And, we just saw it right there that he's capable of, and he takes it out.
Oh, and it's going to be a huge. That's going to be a huge kick return.
That's a touchdown, Tommy.
Yeah. Just as we said, Corey Grant,
Corey
lightning in
Grant,
the
you talked
bottle.
about him earlier. Yep,
Yeah,
lightning in a bottle.
as that is a big play. Not a gadget type, but he's a very, very explosive running back there for Detroit, and that's going to put him up the board. Nonetheless, no matter what position he's playing, either way, the score is 13-3 there for Detroit.
Yeah, and honestly, coming into this game, I don't think anyone saw this coming. The Lions have just smacked the Cardinals, and they just keep going. And the Cardinals really haven't responded. They've really, honestly, in my opinion, they've gotten lucky with these holding penalties and whatnot. I think we can both agree on that. But this drive right here, I know I've said it before, but this drive is, I think it can change the game depending on how it goes.
Now, Arizona's going to drop back to pass there, and they're going to throw that underneath route there to Christian Kirk, who's going to be wrapped up there for only about 3. Um, I mean, this Arizona offense has been cheese, but I mean they've got what they deserved. As the Detroit defense is, keep making plays. You get a big special teams play there, and that's sort of what you need. You look for, if you're necessarily an underdog team, how can you win games against some guys that you might not be as talented as, and it's stuff like special teams. If you block a punt, you block a field goal, you get a kick return touchdown. I alluded to it last night when I was calling another game. It's stealing points. Is the term I like to use. It's stealing points, and you're gonna swing. I mean, special teams. Um, it can win you the game. It can also lose you the game, but it also gets momentum going in your favor. I mean, there's a reason they're called special teams. They're special for a reason. Uh,
Yeah, a very underrated aspect of the game.
yeah.
Can totally swing momentum left or right.
Yes, I hope we don't have the freeze glitch here and someone's just calling a play. As I think that might be what we have.
That would be very upsetting.
And this, my friends, is why we hate Madden. Is stupid stuff like this. That's tough. All the momentum was going in Detroit's favor too. And something
Wow,
like
you
this
you don't think
happens.
this was Cardinals have been getting very lucky this game, and
Yeah.
I think this is
And then this happens. This is lucky. I mean, because Detroit, they'd have kept running it down their throat, and their defense was playing well. Um, this is something that it's disappointing
yeah, you hate
to
to
see.
see
Hate to see it.
it. Yep.
Hate to see it. Well, we might have to cut to a commercial break here and see what was doing. As they're probably gonna have to replay this again. I don't know what they wanna do. It's just stuck here. Well, I'll be right back. We'll see what they come up with later.
Hey, Fallen.
All right, what's up? I'm back.
Are we live?
We are live. We're still on air. Did they post the new stream?
Unfortunately, no, they have not.
We'll see what's doing here. Well, looks like BCal's got one up. Yeah, if you go to his channel here, it's still up.
Hmm.
So in other terms, while we wait, in other news, I finished the wide receivers on the draft. You can see all
Yo,
their
we're
ratings
loading
now.
back in.
All right, sweet. Yeah, we're still live. I doubt anyone's watching, but I mean, you were fitting to get that ass beat anyway, so.
Hey, I can't find the stream.
Bro,
Nah, you're
look
right
at his
though.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, I keep searching. There's nothing here.
Yeah, it's Brandon Calloway.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
the same
here.
one that he was at before. I got
Yeah, I
it pulled
know.
up. All right, I'll solo
All right.
cast this shit. Tell me I won't. Corey Peters not playing. That's interesting. Funny, because he's a 75 overall defensive tackle, but it looks like he's playing a rookie just because he's a rookie. Or a younger player that is quick dev. Just because of his dev. That's an interesting one. In other news, I'm doing stat checks once we get done with this game.
All right, I just pulled it up. You're doing checks?
Yeah. Let me see what's doing. Hold on, we got some games being played there. All right, I'm underway.
Oh, he's gonna take another one.
Yep. All right, now, as we're back underway here, we'll see if Detroit's going to stick with the same game plan as they're not doing it right away, as Stafford's going to come out firing there. You're going to find the tight end over the middle, and there's going to be another penalty there, as that is absolute cheese there, as Detroit is right in Arizona territory at the 31-yard line, as they're in prime position now.
Yeah, it seems like Detroit came to play today.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit simply was beating them. I played Detroit earlier in the year, and it was a 13-9, slugfest. I still had my backup quarterback in then, and Garrett Blunt's making a nice basket catch there. So that was certainly a tough one. Detroit played me very, very tough in that game we had played. Just I think I beat him off field goals. 13. I scored a touchdown and 2 field goals, and I scored a touchdown and he didn't. That was borderline. That was why I won it. So I mean, Detroit certainly plays you tough. They're gonna basically put the game all in their hands rather than let you try and beat them by throwing the ball around. And if you're gonna sit there and think you can just beat them, you get a quick 3 and out, you might not get the ball back for another 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I mean? With the amount of time Detroit eats up, it's an older style offense, but it works. It's worked since football has been around. Certainly a thing that can win you a lot of ball games. As things were going hot there for Detroit, but now they've got 3rd and 4, very very manageable. You always have the threat to run, as they're going to line up with their wide bunch to the right. Kenny Golladay, the single receiver, set out to the left there. Stafford in the gun, Corey Gaunt to the left of him. He's always an explosive threat and can catch the ball out of the backfield. Stafford's going to drop back to throw. He's going to look. He's going to manipulate the pocket. He's going to be fired over there to Jones. 13. Is that Marvin Jones?
That's something you don't see very often.
It was a tough pass over the middle, and that'll set up another field goal there for Detroit. Field goal attempt, I should say. So the kick will be up, and that is good there by Matt Prater, one of the better kickers in the league here. One very, very strong leg, pretty accurate. I mean, he's been in the league a bunch of years. Definitely a top 5 kicker.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, wouldn't you think he's a little underrated?
Matt Prater, definitely. The only reason he got released from the Broncos was because they had a guy named Brandon McManus who can absolutely kill the football whenever he kicks it. PA boy, shout out PA, went to Temple. Just one of those things. Matt Prater's definitely a weapon. It's going to be a David Johnson handoff, just a little inside zone there to the left. They went opposite. They basically fluffed you with the eye candy to the right, hit you with an inside zone to the left. They're trying to get a numbers matchup, see if you're going to shift to it, and then hit you with the weak side.
Very cheesy.
That's not cheesy at all. It's just a little inside zone in a triple tight end set. It's how many times you run a triple tight end set. As watch now, Larry Fitzgerald's in the slot. As I don't think they're manned up properly against him. It's actually going to be a screen play. It's going to be a huge play there by huge user play there by Jarrod Davis. Is he going to stop the screen play there for a 2-yard loss? I mean, as we said, Pete Cal is a very, very good user on defense.
Yeah, that's one thing he prides himself on, is defense.
Mm-hmm. As that's going to be a long pass here by Rosen. He's going to step back and throw. He's going to try and uncork a long one, and that's going to be incomplete there. It looked like the receiver had a step on him there, but so far, just as we had showed before in the previous game, this Detroit defense has given Arizona a bunch of fits. They're forcing him to throw the long ball, which is not what you want to be in the position there with Josh Rosen. He's got to work on developing it. And for a rookie quarterback, if you hit those deep passes consistently, it's something you've got to develop.
Yeah, as we saw there, the receiver had a step, and as an NFL quarterback, you just don't miss those throws. But given the fact that Rosen's a rookie, we can give him a pass. But
stuff is
but you're not going to give him any opportunities like that often.
Yeah, if you get an opportunity like that, you've got to connect on it, and that's the difference there between just an average level quarterback who might hit it 50-50 and a quarterback who might hit it 75-80% of the time. There's going to be another penalty here. We're going to look what it is. It's going to be a holding again, as that's another holding penalty, as it's been awful. I might have to look in the sliders there.
Yeah, it's definitely been chippy down there.
Yeah, I mean, 2 physical fronts here. I think if you're Detroit, you've got to be confident in your line here, that you can sort of push this Cardinals defensive front around a little bit. You've got Chandler Jones, but other than that, I mean, none of these defenders are stout in run coverage besides Chandler Jones there on the edge.
Yeah, and honestly, in my opinion, this Detroit team is playing, they have nothing to lose, and the Cardinals, they have to that 2 seed, that bye,
Mm-hmm.
it's even though if they win out, they have a chance to, get
Lock
that
up
two
home
seed
field.
if the
Yeah.
Redskins, lock up home field, for
Yeah.
at least the first round of the playoffs. And honestly, one inch.
Yeah. And another thing that comes with it is the bye. You know, when it comes to the playoffs, you want to be playing as less games as possible because all it takes is one bad game and you're done. Your season's over. You know.
Yeah, especially with a quarterback like Rosen, you want to limit the amount of games he has in the playoffs as much as possible.
Yeah.
All the mistakes that he's been making this year.
Oh,
He's had a
huge
pretty
throw
good.
there by that's Marvin Jones, I think. We're getting confused. I'm gonna have to Google the roster here real quick, see who some of these guys are. I know Marvin Jones is 11. As for the other Jones, I have no idea. But nonetheless, that moves the sticks on a huge 20 yard completion there. You don't have many plays in the playbook to get 20 yards, but in terms of you know, the success. You don't think you're going to have many 20-yard gains, but boom, there you go, and the Lions are not complaining. That's a throw you need to hit if you want to win a game like this, You're going to need to complete some big plays in the passing game as they're going to send Luke Wilson in motion here. Stafford in the pistol. It's going to be a quick inside give there to Blunt, who's going to lower his shoulder and fall forward there for about 3 yards, as that's Blunt's specialty. I mean, don't ask Blunt to hit a home run, but if you want him to fall forward and get you a first down and just churn out some tough yards, he's certainly a guy. I mean, he's built a whole career off of being a short yardage back that just falls forward. And, how many times have you seen LeGarrette Blount get absolutely rocked and fall backwards? That's just not his game. He's
It
he's
just
one of
doesn't
those
happen
old
often.
school bruising running backs that, yeah, he's a career short yardage guy. You see, he gets all them touchdowns. You'll see he's not necessarily a superstar running back, but for what he does, he's probably one of the best at it. It's going to be another inside give there to Blunt, who's going to, break another tackle again and drag Deion Buchanan. I mean, that's just simply a mismatch. Deion Buchanan has to make plays on LeGarrette Blunt. LeGarrette Blunt's going to fall forward every single time. If Deion Buchanan can wrap him up, it's still a mismatch. I mean, Blunt is a huge, massive man, and Buchanan's a former safety trying to play linebacker there. It's just simply not something you want. As that actually, he fell forward there, so that'll set up 3rd and 1. And this is, if you're Detroit, you're staying on schedule. All you've got to do here, just simply fall forward and get the first down. As Arizona's going to put 8 in the box is never, and they're basically daring Detroit to throw the ball. It's going to be actually, never mind. It's going to be a pass, and it's going to be complete over the middle to Kenny Galladay. Another huge play there. As Patrick Peterson was not manned up on him, they decided to drop off and play a soft zone, and the slant just got open. They found a hole in the defense. So there you go, adding a little wrinkle. As much as we said they would need to run the ball, Stafford's still very solid, very accurate, as Arizona's defense is playing at least 20 yards off the ball. That's not something you want. They're basically daring them to throw the short pass or run the ball. Stafford's going to drop back to throw. He's looking. Never mind. He's going to step up and run with it. And he's going to dive forward there for 6 yards. If the defense is giving him, you take that every single day of the week, You prefer the
Yeah.
slide, but when they're going to give you a 5 to 6 yard cushion there to just step up and run, any quarterback will take that. I mean, look at the uber efficient ones like Tom Brady. I mean, he'll run for that for 5 yards. He'll take that any day of the week. Or even an underrated guy like it is Alex Smith there. I mean, no one you wouldn't consider them mobile quarterbacks, but they just take what the defense gives them. And actually, never mind. Garrett Gunn's going to try and lower his shoulder there, and that's going to be another face mask penalty there.
Yeah, these penalties are piling up, Tommy.
Mm-hmm. What? Oh, never mind. We got breaking news. The Browns have traded for Odell Beckham.
Seriously?
Yeah, Liam just tweeted it out.
What? Wow. I guess they've been so quiet in free agency. Maybe this is why.
Yeah, making under the radar moves.
That's insane. Odell and Baker. It's gonna be a sight to behold next season.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Juice Landry, they've got Antonio Callaway.
Yeah.
That's a lot of big personalities though, as Detroit falls forward there, and there we go, Garrett Blount on the goal line. Who else would you rather give it to? As that's a touchdown, as Detroit's now up 10-0. I mean, this is like the last game, but there's 3 minutes left, and they've had the ball for 5 minutes. Arizona went 3 and out, and they've touched the ball one time, and we're almost done with the third quarter.
Yeah, it just goes to show that this, anyone's beatable. Any given Sunday, no team is untouchable. The score is 0-0, and whoever wants it more, they're going to get it. And it doesn't seem like the Cardinals want it as much as the Lions do right now.
So I wonder what the Browns gave up. Is it possible you think they get a first for him?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely. I think if it wasn't a first, then I don't think any deal gets done. To be honest, I don't think the Giants would be willing to give up their franchise receiver for anything less than a first.
As it's a huge play there by David Johnson, who gets a cheesy break tackle animation, another cheesy spin move. And that's going to be another dump off there to J.J. Nelson, who's going to get a cheesy spin move. His milk has just been absolutely nothing but cheese, and then he's still losing.
Are we really surprised, though, Tommy?
No,
we knew this
that's
would
what
happen
we've been
coming out the
saying.
gate. Yeah.
Yeah, as now Arizona's still in the gun there. They're going to give it off to David Johnson up the middle. He's going to burst forward there. Pick up about 14 on the play. Just a little inside zone. He saw the hole, hit it, and accelerated through. That sets up Arizona now on Detroit's 25-yard line as they're in striking distance again. This is a little bit more of what we had thought.
Yeah, I think they've been listening to us in the booth.
Yeah.
Criticizing their offense. I mean, it's only taken them a couple plays to get, inside the 30, and
but it's all right though. We gotta have some faith here. If you're Detroit, you've been playing well all game. As we say it there, boom, sack. There it is, Ziggy Ansah. He's pretty much their only pass rushers. That's a huge play as Arizona tried to hit the long developing play action there. It's a 12-yard sack as that sets Arizona up for another huge long first down. Second down here, and it's going to be tough to convert. Arizona's going to drop back again. There's another sack. Wow. Detroit has come to play as Arizona is just shooting themselves in the foot. This is what you want to see.
I think they've knocked themselves out of field goal range. With these miscues. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to try and run those deep developing play action plays, you've got to look and survey, and if you don't have them, you've got to either, scramble for it a bit or you throw it away because those plays they're long chunk plays, they're shot plays. They take a while to develop. As Detroit's going to send the house here again, and it's going to be. Rosen's going to be hit as he throws there. He just wobbled it out there to for about 8 or 9 yards, but nonetheless.
Yeah, this Detroit team definitely turned the momentum right there. As soon as we thought, Arizona was going to start getting something on offense, Ziggy Ansah comes in and gets a sack, and now we're looking at a 4th and 23. You got to punt it.
Yeah. There you go. Just as we had said, Arizona was knocking on the door, but Detroit clamped up. And as we had said, Detroit's defense is playing lights out here is actually they're going to flip the ball. Arizona might be able to kick a field goal on this one. Is this going to be another long attempt here? But I don't see the wind being in the favor. We're in a dome, right? Yeah, we are in a dome. That's going to be an interesting one here. That's going to set up a 55-yard field goal attempt, and that's going to be up and be good there, yes. So Arizona is going to muster... they're going to muster a long field goal there.
Yeah, it's very surprising with the way their kicker's been playing all season, But, like, he came to play.
All right, now, so Detroit, they could easily drip 5 or 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, certainly. Given their play style, they can definitely control possession here.
Yeah, as it looks like Arizona's a little bit undermanned in the box there, but nonetheless, they still stopped the play there. They didn't look like they were, matching that correctly, but they're actually in a 4-3 look. So, we'll see what Detroit can muster up here. Now, I think if you're Arizona, you've got to come up with ways to stop them. Necessarily your players might not be there. Maybe you can get creative and scheme some blitzing guys open, start shifting your defensive line around a bit, as Detroit's going to come out in the pistol look now. So we'll see what they're doing over there. 2nd and 9, they could pass it, and that's what they're going to do. Is it's going to be another... Stafford's going to drop back, and guess who? Kenny Golladay. That's Stafford's go-to guy, and for good reason. I mean, Kenny Golladay has all the potential in the world to be a number 1 wide receiver, and legit number 1 wide receiver. It doesn't matter who Arizona's been putting on him. He's been getting open, and that's all you can ask for him.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not going to be, he's got to be the guy. Marvin Jones, and I'm pretty sure Golden Tate is injured. He's the main guy.
Golden Tate's actually on the Eagles.
Oh, my bad, man. I completely forgot about that.
Nah, we're all good. But nonetheless, it still sets him up to be the number 1 wide receiver. That's exactly what you want to develop Stafford. Obviously, you can never replace Calvin Johnson, but you can replace. You can still have a solid number 1 wide receiver that'll help you out there a bit. It's gonna be another pass out there, complete for a first down. And Stafford's clicking on all cylinders now. I mean, like we'd said, Stafford has struggled. He struggled consistently put together huge games. But he can still win you them, as he's still a very, very accurate quarterback. I think he's a borderline top 10 quarterback in the league. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, he's definitely got the talent. Like I said before, it's all like the playoff wins. I find it very questionable, but that has a lot to do with the team, organization.
Yeah, as Arizona moving their defense around a little bit, and Detroit just going to take that hole there, and surprised he didn't pick up more. Had the fullback had got a better block there on the safety, and they wouldn't have got the insta-shed cheese. That'd have been a longer run than most expected there, as Blunt just rumbles forward there for a first down. Or almost first down, sorry. It'll be 2nd and 1 now, but you got to think they can convert it here. I mean, LeGarrette Blunt is just literally a human battering ram that is made to just run people over. And that's what he's paid to do, which still has an incredible amount of value here for Detroit. And that's what he's going to do there. That's going to be a first down. He's actually going to break out a rare spin move, truck another guy, and he's going to fall forward there for 14 yards. He is running with a purpose here, and he is running, lack of a better word, he's running pissed off, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, they have no answer for him.
Yeah, he's just taking people with him. And the best part about it is... Sorry, the best part about it is here they've got, it looks like, LeGarrette Blunt's lined up at wide receiver out there. Not sure if we had an idea. what in the world they were doing there, but nonetheless, it was a stretch play actually, getting Corey Grant involved, as we had said. He's got to get his touches. He's a very, very fine player in my eyes. He's a guy that can catch the ball. He's a big play threat, and you set him up there on the edge, and you can't really complain there. He turns at about 5, and that fits right exactly what Detroit wants to do. Playing it smart, and Stafford's going to drop back to pass. He's going to fire deep over the middle, and Kenny Golladay just baptized Patrick Peterson there. That's a huge play by the young man. Wow. Patrick Peterson had no excuse. Golladay just shoved him down and made a huge, huge play as they put him out there on an island again. And as we said multiple times, Kenny Golladay had made a huge play again on Patrick Peterson. If Patrick Peterson can't lock the man up, I mean, they're going to have problems. He's a headache. And Arizona is struggling to find out how in the world they can defend him.
It seems like the Browns traded Jabril Peppers, their first round pick this year, and a third round pick for Odell Beckham Jr.
Wow. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. How do you feel about this trade?
That's a big play. I mean, now there's no excuse. I mean, the weapons Baker Mayfield has around him now. He's got Antonio Callaway. He's got Jarvis Landry. They've got Odell Beckham. They've got David Njoku. They've got Duke Johnson. They've got Nick Chubb. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They're very, very fine players in their own aspect.
They're very talented.
But they add another star player just as they go and they add Sheldon Richardson on defense. They go and they add Olivier Vernon, also from the Giants there. That's 2 quick trades they've made with the Giants there. But in terms of that, one thing I do see them struggling with, they had a very good offensive line, but you go and you trade one of your better guards away for Olivier Vernon, and it's not a secret in the NFL is edge players are easier to find than offensive linemen. So I think offensive linemen are valued. Maybe who's going to replace them? You have Austin Corbett, very versatile lineman they drafted out of Nevada. But he didn't play that well this rookie year. And to be honest, didn't play very well as, actually hyping him up and better than what the brutal truth would be. So, I mean, obviously on the offensive line, they've got to, figure some pieces out there. Odell Beckham certainly gives a star power, but you got to think that's another personality you've got to manage in the locker room there with Baker. But we'll see what they do. Definitely, it's a move that you can't complain if you're the Cleveland. Anytime you can get an all-pro receiver for a first and a third, that's a win. You give up Jabril Peppers. He had struggled a bit first couple years, kind of sort of found his own niche there in Cleveland secondary. Cleveland also did have not too bad of a secondary as well. Demarius Randall established himself. Denzel Ward's one of the better cover corners in the league. After his rookie year, he established himself as he's looking to be an elite corner there. So that's not too bad at all.
Do you think it's too early to call them contenders, or?
Look at what the rest of the division's doing. How many starters did Baltimore lose from that defense? They've lost Eric Weddle. They've lost C.J. Mosley. They lost Terrell Suggs. They've lost. Those are all 3 huge contributors. What people don't understand is Terrell Suggs played over 70% of the snaps for Baltimore's defense last year. And it's just because they didn't have edge rushers. I believe. They lost Darius Smith. That defense has lost a bunch of players. So that was the number 1 defense overall in the NFL, and you lose guys like that. Not only do you lose a bunch of leadership from some of those veteran players, C.J. Mosley was one of the best middle linebackers or inside linebackers in the league. Steelers, they just lost AB. They just lost Bell. So who's Ben going to throw the ball to? Who's Ben going to run with? Was it just a mirage last year we saw with James Conner? Obviously, we know Steelers have a very, very running back friendly system. Their offensive line is still very solid. They just locked up Foster. And then Cincinnati's a dumpster fire. No one knows what in the world they're doing there. But in
Yeah, I
terms
think this is
Yeah, but in
Cleveland's
terms of
division to
Cleveland,
lose.
I mean, Cleveland's being aggressive. When you've got a shot to win it, you've got to go all in, because your window can close very fast. You saw the Jaguars. Look at them, what they had with Blake Bortles. They probably had about the shortest window to contend, but now you see they're in panic mode as they signed Nick Foles to a long, weird 4-year, $50 million deal. That's not quite exactly what you want to see. I'd say, Nick Foles, his success, I believe, obviously he's a system player, and I think he's dependent on what type of scheme they're running. I'm not quite sure what they are going to run down there in Jacksonville, but I wouldn't have liked to see a 4-year deal for a guy who almost retired, but you can see he still can certainly play. But nonetheless, Cleveland, this is their window, and they certainly have got got a very solid roster. They've made some very sneaky, underrated moves here, but let's get back to our game here now, as Arizona has worked their way down, all the way down to the 3-yard line, 3rd and goal. We'll see what they come up with here, and they're going to run it outside, and they're going to, he's going to fall forward. That's cheese. Relying on the glitch there. It looked like Detroit had them all locked up there. I believe that was Chase Edmonds there that scored. And that'll set Arizona up. What? They're down. Now they're only down. We're going to be left with the score of Detroit 17, Arizona 10, with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left. If you're Detroit here, you're looking to set up that 2-minute drill that you've been practicing all year. 2-minute drill is pretty much on point now. You've got to look to get a field goal. Best case scenario is a touchdown here, and not leave too much time, as we saw Arizona's got a very, very explosive offense that can hit in a couple plays. But that last drive was sort of uncharacteristic for him. That was a slow, methodical drive that took 4 minutes and 32 seconds up. But no, good offenses find ways to score. Detroit necessarily can't rely on their run game in this. You're going to look to see Stafford, toss the pigskin around a little bit more, but Kenny Golladay has been absolutely killing him. They've got to find a way to stop him here on this one. Maybe they're going to key in on him a little bit more, which will set Marvin Jones Jr. up. So we'll see what they're doing. Stafford's going to drop back to throw, and he's going to be sacked there. That's a huge, huge play by Deion Buchanan, as Arizona sent 6 guys on that play, and Detroit only blocked 5. So you do the math. 6 is always going to be greater than 5. Anytime you send more equal amount of pressure to them, you're going to see more sacks, because even if you send the amount of them, one-on-one's got to be a win if you're the defense.
Yeah, and you can sense a little bit of shifting back to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's they gotta, the Lions, they gotta answer back, after that long methodical drive, and we'll see if they can.
Yes, they do. They're gonna sling it on out there to Marvin Jones for a gain of about 19. That'll set up 3rd and inches. I thought he had it there. They're not going to give him the forward progress that the Lions would have liked on that one. But nonetheless, that sets you up. You go from 20 yards to inches. You'll take that any time and any day of the week, as Detroit can simply just hopefully run the ball out here and get that 2-minute drill going. They still got all 3 timeouts left, as Arizona is stacking the box. They've got 9 guys in the box, as that is absolute. And they're gonna stop them there. They basically dared him to throw the ball, and Detroit not going to be able to pick that one up.
Yeah, I don't know about that play call, Tommy. You have Stafford, who's 9 for 10. He's red hot all game, and you take the ball out of your best player's hands, and I guess that's what happens.
I think in that situation, if I were Detroit, I'd go with some sort of shotgun set, meaning I'd always have the option to run the inside zone or some sort of inside handoff, which is typically more effective. And you always have the passing play there, and Stafford has not been missing much of anything. So any chance you get to let him fire and complete those short passes, you cannot complain at all. And they're going to step up there with Rosen. He's going to roll out. He thought he was looking to throw it there, and he's going to fall forward there, and that's going to be another holding penalty there as they look to tackle one of Detroit's linemen. They're going to call that any single day of the week, and that's going to pretty much kill any sort of momentum they've got going on here for Arizona, as that's going to be 1st and 20 now, as they're going to have to hit a huge, huge chunk play.
If anyone can overcome these deficits, though, it's this Cardinals offense.
Oh, exactly. This Cardinals offense has been hitting home runs all year. As that's not a home run there, but it'll do just about good enough as they're going to toss out the simple drag route, let those receivers run after the catch a little bit, as that's going to be their gain of about 13 yards there. You can't really complain about that one. It's going to drip away
Especially
some,
when it's first and 20.
It's going to drip away some clock out here, so we'll see. They're going to actually line up, and it's going to be a huge deep bomb down the throws. Josh Rosen uncorked a long one. There you go. Just like you said, this Arizona offense, they're getting firing away. Detroit's been begging them to throw the ball deep, and there you go. Rosen connects right there. We had seen why he was one of, the talent is there. No one questions how talented the young man is. He's been putting it together very, very well in this. This is his rookie season. I believe he's got 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, playing uber efficient. He had missed some time with injury. Obviously, the offensive line was beat up and battered there, but Rosen's still, nonetheless, a very, very talented quarterback. He's dropping back to throw here as they send a guy in motion. He's going to look, fire. Please, is going to be caught deep, and that's David Johnson for a touchdown. Wide open. There was no one within 10 yards of it. He hit him on the wheel route there, and they just simply cleared him out. Very, very interesting play called there, as it looked like Detroit was in a cover 2, and the safety, or the post route occupied the safety, leaving the running back wide open, as Milky had manipulated the cornerback there by trying to roll out to the left and get that cornerback to go up and then throw it right over his head. I mean, that's just simply cheese. There's no doubt about that one.
Yeah, it's ebook offense right there, Tommy. I mean, coming into this game, we knew this would happen, and that's just something Detroit's got to deal with, and something right here to watch for. We have to see if they'll use these 53 seconds to try to get some points on the board, or take their tie game and go into halftime with some question marks. Because
I mean, I don't either way, if you're Detroit though, it's still a win if you go into halftime tied up. You wouldn't have liked to let up a score there, but I think you try and get something going, and there you go. That's how you get it going. A nice gain of about 20 yards there. I mean, when you play Milkman, he's got that ebook offense. He's a credit card warrior. Stole mommy and daddy's money to get that ebook. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you just can't beat guys that exploit the game, and we all know it. It's tough to deal with. It's not fun. If anyone is watching here, Milkman has bought an ebook, hence the reason to see that offense. I mean, it's as clear as day. He's admitted it to himself.
Milkman wouldn't be able to come up with these play calls on and on.
Mm-hmm. As you see there, he's actually, that was a form of nano blitz there. Do you see the defensive tackle? He got wide open with no one blocking him there, but he stopped because due to Madden manipulation there. So Madden senses some sort of nano type play.
That's something the LO should look at. Nano blitzing is stated in the rule books that it's not permitted in the league.
And, I mean, the defensive tackle didn't even go untouched there. That's some sort of manipulation with moving his guys around.
Yeah.
That's not good. I definitely would have to let the LO know about that one. It's something we'd have to look into. Yeah, so Detroit's on the move now. They're going to look to get some points up on the board here. As Stafford's going to roll. He's going to fire a deep pass there to Mack, the tight end. I'm not quite sure who that is. He doesn't look that big. Definitely looks more of a receiver than he is a tight end. But you see right there, he got open and beat the cover 4. As Milkman's
playing, put that on the money.
Yeah, exactly. And we had said before, Stafford is absolutely slinging the rock around here. And now, if you're Detroit, you don't even need to think field goal. You can think touchdown on this one. You're still going to have 5 to 6 plays to get it down the field, which is doable, 100% doable. As we watch Kenny Galladay over there, he's matched up one-on-one with Patrick Peterson. We'll see what Detroit can come up with now as they're going bunch right. And they're going to adjust their defense accordingly. Kenny Galladay's one-on-one on an island over there. We'll see what they can come up with. As Stafford's going to drop back to throw. And he's going to complete it wide open there. Marvin Jones. They're going to complete the pass.
Apart right now, Tommy.
Yeah, that's a huge play there. They'd beat the zone now. And Detroit's going to hurry up and get set again. They're going to try and no-huddle it up on here. As Stafford's going to drop back to pass. 10 seconds left. He's going to step up in pressure. He's going to fumble, and that's going to be a bailout there play there.
Wow.
Arizona forced the fumble there. And, wow, that's a bailout play. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
but this defense definitely they got playmakers, and
Yeah.
that's
Do you think you can buy an ebook to do that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. We'll have to ask him after the game. Maybe we can get a post-game interview on here for the winning coach, whoever that might be. So we're gonna go into halftime now, 17-7. If you're Detroit, that's gotta hurt, you know. Then you're gonna kick it away here. You've gotta that one hurts, especially when you leave points on the board. That's not what you want to see. But you're playing tough. You're sticking to your game plan. You've got to just keep playing. You got to keep your game. Don't let Arizona's high-paced octane offense. I mean, they're on fire. They're hotter than in Arizona on a hot summer day. I mean, this offense is just electric, or en fuego, as some might say. If you're Detroit, I think you've got to stick to your guns, which got you this far in this game. It's ball control. It's holding the clock. It's playing great defense and coming up with one or two key stops. Look for a turnover maybe. The only turnover in the game was that last fumble there. Whoever wins the turnover battle, I think, will win this game. Especially in close games, you want to say, oh, Madden did this, Madden did that, blah blah blah. Look at turnovers. It's as simple as that. It's not a tough thing to see. It comes down to it comes down to who's more disciplined, you know. Penalties obviously helps too, but we're gonna see Rosenrot to the left there, and he's gonna fire on.
Ooh, dangerous throw.
Yeah, dangerous throw there, but nonetheless, it's still gonna gain about 8 or 9 yards there. And it's going to be a play action pass there. He's going to fire out over complete there to
Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk, is that who it was? Number 13, yes. 27-yard gain. As if you're Detroit now, you're looking to come up with something because Arizona has just come out slinging the rock, just as we had said before. They're moving the ball down the field. You gave up one or two big plays, and now Arizona's, as we say, just as I say that, David Johnson just ripped open 15 more yards on that one. Arizona finally putting together a big long drive down here as they've just scored very quickly. We'll see what they can come up with.
Yeah, it only takes one play, man.
Yep, as we said it again, there's going to be another penalty. This Arizona's offensive line is awful, absolutely awful. Talent-wise, but discipline-wise, you can't give up holding penalties. As we're going to see, Detroit's going to come up with something now. I see their coach down there telling their defensive line to play aggressive. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, Rosen's picking them apart. They need something.
It's going to be a long, deep pass there. And that looked like a switch there by Milkman. Surprised he didn't catch it. All right, let's see what they're doing now. Cardinals have got it 2nd and 20. That's going to be just a simple handoff there. We're going to get another penalty.
Wow.
That's going to be a face mask. And that's some cheese right there.
Yeah, it's a very, very sloppy game by both fronts. The Lions, they've gotten called. The Cardinals, they may have been called, for more. But all in all, I'm very disappointed with how both of these teams playing on the football field.
And that's going to be a touchdown there, as we said. Oh, yes. Wow. Arizona drove down the field and just simply put points up on the board. With a quickness, just as we had said before, you've got to give credit where credit's due.
We haven't. They've stuck to their guns, Like they were down big early, and they didn't let it. When adversity hit, they overcame it, and we're looking at a 17-24 ball game.
Yeah. Now, if you're Detroit, you don't need to go into panic mode, but you've got to be thinking, how can we sort of maybe add a wrinkle into our offense here? Maybe add some sort of trick gadget play. They've got to hit a chunk play here, and once Arizona gets on fire, it's tough to stop them. So, even if you can think about flipping field position here and making it tougher for them to score, it's a win. But you've got plenty of time left. There's no need to go into panic mode here. You just got to keep playing your game. As they're going to start it off here just how they did it. That's going to be Corey Grant ripping open a 13-yard gain there. As we had just said, as I had said before, Corey Grant is a very, 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 very good running back there who can hit the chunk play. He's not a starting caliber running back, and that's not what he needs to be. He just needs to be. I think he can succeed very well as a spell back, take some carries, a change of pace type of guy who can come in there, and the defense is so used to getting bruised up and beat up by LeGarrette Blount. Corey Grant comes in, and that's going to be another sack there by Arizona's defense. Corey Grant could come in and just you blink and he's already 10 yards down the field. As Detroit was trying to hit another deep play action pass, and I can't quite blame them for that. They've been running the ball very well all day. You got to think eventually they'll lull this Cardinals offense to sleep and try and hit that play right over their head. So we'll see now. That's second and long, and if you're the Lions, this is not on your script. This is second and 17. You've got to come up with another big play here. Stafford's going to drop back to pass. That pass is going to be incomplete there, batted away down there by, I believe that was Buda Baker on the edge. Is he playing outside corner for him?
I believe so.
That's a little different. Not quite sure that's where he would be playing. I've seen him more as a safety, but he's got the versatility to play corner. I don't know necessarily outside corner's his thing, but oh well, we'll see. As that sets up 3rd and 17 here now for Detroit. On their own 30-yard line, and Stafford's going to drop back to throw. He's going to fire over the middle. That's going to be incomplete there, just jarred loose, ripped right out of his hands there by J.C. Jackson. He was a practice squad signing for him off the Patriots practice squad, I believe. That's a big play there. Typically, sometimes you see some of those bottom roster, practice squad guys. They sort of float around in between. They can't necessarily develop, but there you go. He just made a big 3rd down stop. J.C. Jackson's one of those athletic corners. Man, his coverage skills aren't quite the best, but he's a very, very fast guy who you don't have to worry about getting burnt. And here we see Rosen going to be in the gun again. That's going to be a handoff to David Johnson. Another inside zone there. He's going to power at about 9 yards there. He lowered the shoulder and forward and got about another yard or two worth of runs. I mean, either side, it hasn't been tough running. It hasn't been easy running. This is a very, very physical game. That both sides, that you've seen a lot of lowering the shoulder, a lot of guys fighting for yards. I think, oh wow, Ziggy Ounce is that off-ball linebacker. That's an interesting one. And he's going to actually make an incredible play there, diving. He looked like he wrapped up the ankle, and he did. David Johnson just simply collapsed like a rag doll.
Yeah, that's something we haven't been seeing all day. I mean, those running lanes have been wide open. He's already got 100 yards.
Wow.
His 3rd down is huge.
Yes, a third down stop here by Detroit would do him plenty of wonders for him. So see what Arizona can come up with here. I'm thinking Arizona's gonna just simply run the ball here. We'll see what they come out in, and they are not. They're in an empty set. Not necessarily thinking some sort of QB design run, so that means they're gonna trust Rosen to sling it around here, and someone's gonna jump off sides. We're gonna see who it is. It's gonna be actually be an encroachment there by Big Snacks
That
Harrison,
hurts.
and that's a bailout there if you're the Arizona offense. Rather than having to earn it, you just simply get awarded it because Madden gives it to you.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those things happen. You gotta
Hmm
watch the ball. Especially for a veteran player like Damon Harrison, who's like
The
right
thing,
under the ball. You
the
just, you
thing
just don't
is, that's
expect.
the thing, man. You're the nose tackle. You're right in front of the ball. How can you jump? Man, we used to go ballistic back in the day, back when I was younger, back in my day, playing inside there on the D line. You go absolutely ballistic at guys. You're right over the football. How can you jump? Especially on a third and short like that. Teams will, just try and get you off sides, even if they're not necessarily got a decent play call. They'll just go line up and try and get you off sides, as you see right there. And that's gonna be vroom vroom. That's a fucking sorry. Try to make some allusion to a rocket, but I made a car sound. But nonetheless, that is the first down there. So get out your keys. They're on the drive. Arizona set up very, very well here on the 32-yard line. They're on track to get some points. They're on track to get some more points on the board. As Josh Rosen drops back, that's going to be dropped interception there. He's lucky
Oh,
he just got
oh,
bailed out on that one. That was a
that
terrible,
hurts.
terrible
That hurt me up in
decision.
the booth, Tommy.
Wow. That's
I guess you can.
that's a
That's probably
bailout.
why they're playing defense, man.
Yeah.
That's just something. It's just given to you in a breadbasket.
And
You get a chance to stop this ebook
mhm.
offense, and you just can't capitalize. It really hurts.
Uh-huh. And as we say that, that's going to be an inside zone. They're only good for about 3. And that'll set Arizona up on 3rd and 7 again. Hopefully this time they won't get some cheese on 3rd down. They're going to actually have to earn it on themselves. I mean, that hasn't been a problem at all for Josh Rosen, who's just been slicing and dicing this defense up like a surgeon, playing very, very well. Um, and they're going to go out in the empty set again. You're going to see Larry Fitzgerald, another receiver lined out left. Rosen's going to drop back to pass. He's going to fire over the middle. That's going to be caught, and it's going to
Ooh,
be a hit, and that's going to be incomplete. Um, hmm. I don't know if that was necessarily a switch.
I don't know, man. It didn't look like it, but
No, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one, but either way, that's going to be a field goal on the board. Um, it
he
looked
was
like the
he was he was
receiver had caught it and was bringing down with it. And he was going to take a step and then he switched on. It wasn't like he just switched the hit stick on him, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a formal review, but that didn't look as bad as it looked now that I'm watching it again in replay. That looked fine to me. So now, if you're Detroit, you're gonna look for at least a field goal on this play. Or on this drive, I should say. Maybe you can hit Galladay on something deep, Marvin Jones around, hit another chunk play. Stafford's going to drop back to pass. He's going to look just simply dump it off to the tight end there. Regardless of, that'll be a gain of about 8 yards, and sets them up in a very, very manageable 2nd and 3. You got to think they can. The 2nd and 3, anytime you get 3 yards, you've got to love it as an offensive coordinator because you can always still run the ball, but you know passing is just as easy. Well, you can run it. You should be able to expect your offensive line. Every offensive line you should be able to pound out 3 yards on any given play. Otherwise, you just feel sorry for yourself. I mean, and there you go. That's the same concept again. They're going to try and work that drag run underneath. This time they only gained about a yard or two, and he took a shot over the middle. Marvin Jones will fill that one tomorrow. I believe it
would
was
you call this
complete.
4 down territory?
No, 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 no. You got to punt it here if you don't get it. You don't even think about
Uh,
it. Arizona's already in field goal range if you don't convert it, if you want to go for it. I don't even think you need to think about going for it yet. There's still plenty of time left. It's only the 3rd quarter with 2 minutes left. As Arizona's going to put 9 guys in the box again, we'll see what they come up with. as they're going to go deep, and it's going to be complete there. Kenny Golladay makes a beautiful one-handed play. Whew. Wow.
Yeah,
They
that's what
hadn't been
happens when
able
you
to guard
commit
him.
to the run.
Yeah.
They were daring him to pass, and they finally did, and it bit him in the butt.
Wow. Milkman playing extremely, extremely aggressive. And there you go. There's a good pass complete to Marvin Harrison. Matthew Stafford is 16 and 19 for 222 yards and a touchdown. He's been absolutely on fire, and he can't miss. If I'm the Detroit Lions, I'm just gonna let Stafford air it out. I know you were trying to play conservative, but he's been on fire, and no one has been able to stop him. I mean, I'd say, all right, Matt Stafford, let's go try and win us this one, and it's gonna be a screen out there to Corey Grant, who's gonna be tripped up there. Marcus Golden looked like he wrapped him down, and now Detroit trying to move with some urgency now. They're going to go into a no-huddle there. Maybe they see a look or some sort of matchup they like. We'll see what they come up with as now Stafford's going to move them around. Grant flips over to the right of Stafford. They're going to send Mack in motion as the H-back to the left-hand side. They're going to just a simple handoff of the middle to Corey Grant. And that'll be good for about 5. That'll set up 3rd and about 7 there on Arizona's own 10-yard line. So if they're not able to punch it in, they can at least convert this for a first down should they pick up 8 on the play. That's still always an option, but if you're Detroit, you got to look to score here, and that's just about as good as you can draw it up here. So they're going to line up. Stafford's going to be under center. Golladay, single receiver off to the right. 2 tight ends and Marvin Jones off to the right. Kenny Golladay to the left. Blunt behind him in the single back. And Stafford's going to drop back to pass. He's going to look. He's going to roll it to the left. He's going to run. He's going to evade a tackler. He's going to dive forward there. That picks up the first down, but instead we've got that's a absolutely back-breaking holding call there as Milkman just got bailed out on that play again. Wow. That's tough. I mean, do you have anything other than a bailout on that? That's the only thing I can think of. Stafford's going to be empty setting the gun now in a long 3rd and 18. He's going to drop back. He's going to step up. He's going to look, and he's actually going to run with it, believe it or not. And that's going to be a gain of about 6. So that's going to set up a manageable field goal attempt, which will still make it a 1-score lead if you're the Lions. Obviously, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah, that could have been 1st and goal on, near the 1, but because of a penalty, it gets moved back. And, that's been the story of the game,
Yeah, so you're Detroit, that's a win. Anytime you put points up on the board, no matter what the situation, you can give yourself a pat on the back as if you're on offense. Here you've got to look to slow down this red-hot Cardinals offense. I believe they scored on 2 or 3 straight drives now. We'll see. We'll see what Detroit can scheme up with. As that's just going to be a David Johnson handoff there for about 5 or 6 yards. And after that handoff, that'll take us into the 4th quarter now with Arizona leading 27-20. They're going to have the ball here on their own 37-yard line. Detroit looking to come up with a quick stop here. They're going to have it. They're going to be tasked with it at 2nd and 4 now. Arizona going to come out in the gun now. They're going to have 2 receivers to the left, a tight end and a wide receiver split out right. David Johnson to the right of Rosen in the gun. He's going to take the handoff. Going to cut outside. He's going to be wrapped up, try and fall forward there for first down. And they're not going to get it there. That's going to leave him at 3rd and inches now. The way Arizona, their 3rd and short strategy has been spread them out and pass it here. But that doesn't look like they're going to do now. They're going to line up in a goal line, the jumbo type package here with 3 tight ends and a fullback and halfback there, and they're going to quarterback sneak in. And I don't know if he got it there.
I don't think he got it.
They're going to give him about 1, and
yeah, that's a first.
That's going to be a first, just barely. They've got Big Snacks Harrison there who tried all that. I mean, that's a tough play there if you're Detroit. You got your best player or your best D lineman for that matter on the nose there. We'll see what they're doing. That's going to be a long handoff there, and that's going to be a sack there. They tried to hit the big chunk play. As another injury will be Justin Pugh goes down. He looks to be shaken up.
That's a big one.
Yes, Milkman got a little greedy there. They tried to hit with the long play action pass, but Deshaun Hand able to break through and stop that big typical 7 to 12 step drop there on a boot play.
Yeah, this might be the break that the Lions been needing all game.
So they're going to send wide receiver in motion here. They're going to have Rosen drop back again. He's going to look. He's going to fire. That's going to be complete there to David Johnson. And that'll be good for about 14 yards. Now that sets up 3rd and 9. A whole lot more manageable than 3rd and 23 at the Cardinals' own 42-yard line. Not necessarily 4-down territory if you're here. Got to think if they don't get it, they're probably going to punt it. I don't necessarily see a situation where they go for it unless it's awfully close and they're about no man's land there at the 50. But nonetheless, Cardinals definitely try and convert here on this one. They're going to go spread again. 3 receivers to the left, tight end, and David Johnson to the right, Rosen in the gun. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to step back, take about 17 steps backwards. That's awful cheese. He's going to playmaker, trying to abuse the game there. And there you go. There's an interception there.
That looks like a switch.
No, that was not a switch at all. The cornerback made an excellent play on the ball. This reason the circle just popped up was just sometimes that happens. So
I was just looking at the green.
No, sometimes
usually you see that when you get a perfect timing.
Sometimes it'll pop up even when the computer has it. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You roll it to the left and try and play maker cheese. That's abusing the game, whatever way you look at it. And huge play there by Luka. Stafford's going to drop back. Boom, there's a good pass complete to Marvin Jones. He's going to fall forward there for 14 yards. Another play there. Detroit didn't have problems moving the ball in the passing game down the field last possession. Maybe they can... if I was Detroit, I'd think I'm definitely going to try and move the ball down the field passing. Arizona hasn't been able to stop it so far, so why not keep doing it? And they'd had trouble... They've been consistently passing it. They're going to actually have a little bit of trouble running inside the gut there, as Blunt's going to be stoned there for about a yard. He's got 9 rushes for 36 yards, but also added in 1 scorer on the day. So that sets up 2nd and 10 here on their own 39-yard line here. Arizona still leads by 7. It's going to be second and 10 with about 8 minutes left here. Stafford going to be in the gun. Galladay and Jones to his left. So he's going to drop back to pass. Fires deep, and he's going to be wide open there, but it's just going to be overthrown just a little bit as they had beat Arizona on that one.
Yeah, you just hate to see that. Stafford's been playing lights out all game, and, that's just a throw you can't miss.
Yeah. Yep. That's going to be one that you've got to convert if you want to win this. So now they're going to go empty set with Stafford in the gun. 3rd and 10 now on their own 32-yard line. As Stafford's going to drop back. Cardinals are going to send some pressure off the edge. They're going to go deep over the middle, and that's going to be caught by Mack, the tight end. He's going to fumble it there. They're going to actually strip him of it, and that's a huge crippling play there.
That really hurts.
That's a tough play if you're Detroit. You beat him, you out-scheme him, you complete the pass, and then he gets bailed out with a lucky fumble on that one. That's tough. That's one where you truly can complain about it. I mean, there's levels of complaining. There's like Trevor level, but this is a legitimate complaining. Typically, when
Speaking
you
of Trevor, it looks like he's currently down 14-0 to the Texans,
oh,
after saying that he would
I'm a contender. I know we got the memes for it. I mean, Trevor had said how he was a contender, and this is a new Texans user who's a very, very solid. Christian Los.
very underrated.
Yeah, very underrated here. I mean, if Trevor's gonna joke around and think he can beat him, they're gonna dump it off to David Johnson there. That's only gonna be good for about 5 or 6 on the play. So if you're Detroit, you're not out of it yet. You're still gonna have 2 to 3 possessions with the ball.
Yeah, and if you get the ball back, I have no fear that they won't score because they've been moving the ball up and down the field,
Yeah,
barring
exactly.
any injury.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Stafford's been red hot, and they're gonna run a nice little ebook play there, sending them on the streak to get the running back wide open there. Yep, that's a simple play.
I've seen that deep fork play pretty
that
pretty
looks to
often
be at
in this
least
game,
the
don't
5th
you
or
think?
6th time they've been running that play.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. We're gonna have to look into that one there. And this is going to be zone of seams. I'm calling it. Oh, no, it's not going to be zone of seams. He's going to force it out there. And that's going to be incomplete milkman if anything switched on that one.
Oh, yep.
Yep, boom. Yep, that looked like a switch by milkman.
Did you consider that finable, Tommy?
Well, I don't know. We might have to look at that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. If he switches on and that's a completion, that's first and goal inside the 40.
We're going to have to look at that.
What do you think on the replay?
I didn't have quite a chance to look over that one. I mean, that looked almost as bad as Liam switched from a couple days ago.
Yeah, and Liam's, I'm not trying to poo-poo on, every switch is like a switch, but, like, the game was over when Liam switched. This is, this is still a game right here,
Yeah, all right, I've got the replay pulled up. Live replay from New York here. We're going to see what the call on the field, we're going to see what it's going to be. As Rosen's going to drop back here. It's going to run a nice tight end angle route. You get a step back. He's going to throw. We got boom, boom, boom. Circle pops up. Ball goes right over him. We're going to have to look at that one in a little bit more detail here. We'll get back to the game on that one. And it's going to be a David Johnson cheese spin move on that one. Not what you want to see.
Hate to see it, man.
Hate to see it. That's disappointing there to get a first down in that matter. It's not quite what you want to see. That leaves a bad taste in your mouth again. As Arizona's looking to just run the clock out here. Touchdown pretty much will seal the game here. It's going to be a David Johnson handoff there. They've shut David Johnson down. 22 rushes for only 131 yards there. That's a huge, huge workload there for the running back. And they wonder why he gets injured when you give him 30 touches a game. Running backs just aren't built like that anymore. And I think
it's almost like he's not, rotating his running backs,
Yeah. I mean, that's something you can get fined for in this league as well. Yeah,
it just shows why he isn't a commissioner and why he's just a regular member in the league.
Yes, for sure. And that's going to be another handoff here. And, if you're Lions, you'd be hoping to get one of those cheesy fumbles or maybe some sort of glitchy play.
Yeah, but unfortunately, those plays only happen. They only go one way. And
yeah, unfortunately, that's an actual thing. I'd love to see Trevor's excuse though in that game. Down 14-0.
Yeah, he's. I think he's. I think he's talking about the winds.
Oh, of course.
13-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, yeah. I'm not really sure, what that has to do with him being down 14-0, but
Yeah.
it's just a shame to see someone just plead their case as to why they're losing, and it just doesn't it's just not gonna
It's
fly.
yeah, it's just something we don't want to hear about that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's like his roster is pretty good, and we're not really here for these excuses after making bold claims that he's
a
better than
contender, he can
the
win the
better
Super
he's
Bowl, he
he's
can beat
better than some
everyone.
of the better users in this league. I think he said he was better than the Seahawks one time.
Oh man.
I'm not really sure if that's a statement that he can back up if he loses out in this game.
Yeah, well, I'll certainly be watching that one here once we get back, and that's a big play there by Kenny Galladay. Patrick Peterson, I mean, Kenny Galladay has been killing him all day long. Patrick Peterson,
Yeah,
has he even, deflected a pass that's going his way or broken one up? I mean, I feel like Kenny Galladay has been all over it.
definitely.
As they're gonna, oh no, that's gonna be over the middle. Just tested the user one too many times is something this Lions team was prone to do. They'd been playing very, very well. And that's going to be another diving interception by Hassan Reddick. Wow, that's going to pretty much seal this one here. Cardinals are just going to look to run this out. They've got a 2-score lead now. As this one hurts here if you're Detroit. You're right in here neck and neck. You play everyone tough, but you've got to try and win some of these games here. It's not what you want to see. Things are looking grim for
Yeah,
you.
you hate to see it, man. After seeing how they played just to get hosed by glitchy stuff. It's
Yeah,
just
just lucky mad and stuff. That's not quite what you want to see here. It's going to be just probably stat padding here for David Johnson. Going to try and get
yeah,
him 30
yeah.
carries on the
If it
day.
was, yeah, I don't think NFL teams would risk their star running back getting hurt in garbage time.
Yeah, especially when you're up by 2 scores here in the fourth with 2 minutes left. Just force feeding your running back the ball like that. I mean, he's going to have almost 30 carries and wants to cry about how he gets hurt all the time. Well, don't give him 30 carries. Give him 15 and give the next guy 10. Split the carries up, man. As it's going to be another handoff here to David Johnson. Once again, trying to run them stats up. 26 rushes now for $150. That's just
Yeah,
an
I think
incredible usage rate here.
we can pencil this in as stat padding if he keeps running it right.
Yeah, for sure. As
It doesn't seem like that's
he's
the
gonna
case
he's
as
gonna knee the
kneeling the
ball
ball.
out here. We'll see what he's gonna do now as he we'll see what they're gonna do. He actually looks like he's gonna knee it out here after he just gave Dave Johnson about 27 carries. Oh no.
No way.
We want to throw that one on and cover Trevor's game.
What did you say, Fallen? I missed what you said.
I said, do you want to switch over to Trevor's game here? That one would be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure, man. All right, I have this game pulled up. Not really sure where you are, but
I'm gonna go find it here. I don't know quite exactly where it's at. Oh, I see
yeah,
it.
Houston has the ball. I mean, it's looking like it. It doesn't look so good for Trevor right now.
Wow, this looks like a one-score game if I've ever seen one. And Chris and Los here, very underrated user. He's got the Texans team, and wow, you see right there, we open it up, and that's going to be a sack. The Texans' offensive line is not that good. Not necessarily that the Colts' pass rush is very good. Jabal Sheard is definitely a standout player for them, who they're going to have to pay coming up here. But if you're the Texans' offensive line, it's just simply awful.
Speaking of pass rushers, it looks like D Ford just got traded to the Niners. You know,
that's a team needing pass rush help. I'd be looking at D Ford, and I think he's a very, very solid player. You've got to watch. I've never am too crazy about guys that have one breakout year. I think that's the case, as he's only maybe put together 1 or 2 years, because he looked like a bust early on in his career, back when they still had Tom Bahali. But if you're the Chiefs, your defense is just sort of dumpster fire now. You lose your edge rusher Justin Houston, you lose your edge rusher and D Ford. They're gonna have to get creative with what they want to do. Yeah.
I mean, they got, secondary help, which was honestly, in my opinion, their biggest weakness. But, they got a lot of money invested.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a dive to the right, but instead it's just a jump cut and sprint out to the left for the Cardinals. That's not what you want to see there.
Especially from a league office member, you hold these guys to standards that, you don't hold everyone else. And when they go do some stuff like, janky stuff like that, it's just frowned upon.
Yeah, for sure. This will be interesting here. For the Colts, I was just going to look at his stats. I didn't realize he had watched or had not played his game yet, because Andrew Luck was already 300 yards ahead of the next closest guy. It'll be something I watch or definitely see going on here. I'm going to do stat checks after this game, so we'll see how bad the Colts can do it. And that's going to be a huge incomplete pass there, as that forces 2nd and 10 now on the screen. Screen's necessarily not very good in the switch. I haven't had much success with them. Have you had much success with them, Wealthy?
No, I honestly don't have success with screens, period. Like, that's not something that I put in my game plan when I run it.
That's going to be a pass over the middle to Deion Kane.
Yeah, watch for the stat padding of Deion Kane. He's a young receiver. He's a rookie. So it's just something to look out for in this game.
Oh, and here we're actually going to bring on Milkman to talk about his game a little bit in the winter. He's going to talk about his victory over Luka. So we're going to bring him on here in the next couple minutes when he gets free. So we'll see. We can get his insight on what he was thinking.
Yeah, I'll ask him a few questions about that ebook offense that he was running.
All right. Hey, what's up, Milkman? How's it going?
What's up? Feeling good after another comeback win.
That's tough. Oh my, Trevor is just being Trevor right there. He threw that right to the defender's hands.
Not really sure what he was thinking there.
So obviously that was a hard-fought game there with Luka. Very, very close rivalry. Obviously, we know you both have deep ties with the Luka Brasi show. There was heavily trash talk going on.
Yeah.
He's my guy. What do you think one of the keys to winning that game was? Because he stuck to his game plan very well. He tried to run the ball. He tried to get you out of your mojo by having it on offense. What was one thing you think, or one adjustment you sort of made to help swing the tide in your favor?
I'm just keep it simple. All it took was seeing that end zone for the first time, and after that, it's all about that momentum, man. You got to build momentum and just keep going. I found out, started finding some holes in the zone, figured out what I can and can't do, and
I mean,
after
go ahead, Wealthy.
after the second half, Trevor
there
just
we
threw
go.
an end zone pick.
Trevor just threw a pick right there in the end zone after he rolled out with Andrew Luck.
It's not the contender.
But yeah, so going back to my question, how did your defense, after getting sliced up in the first half, hold, Luca's offense to just 3 points in the second half?
Well, we went into halftime and we basically said, I kept it straightforward with the guys. They fucking suck. You need to step the hell up.
Yeah.
Oh my! Texans are gonna huge run play there. Wow.
Gosh. Oh my goodness.
Gonna get it again. Wow, he's gonna break through. That's a big run there by the Texans. Lamar Miller gashes him for 50 yards. Just a simple counterplay as the Colts have had no defense to that.
But yeah, do you think that the unfortunate heart attack to Steve Wilkes helped you, rally?
No, we came out flat, but after we started, we're doing this for Steve.
Yeah, for Steve, it's for Steve.
The guys
for Steve. I like where it's at.
The guys were.
Is that going to be a logo? Do you think that's going to be a sort of motto your team can rally behind here in the second half? Oh, yeah,
without a chance. But we went at a halftime and we rallied up and we said, he's probably sitting in the hospital. We're going to give him another heart attack with this game. We need to clamp down and, do what we do.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely made him proud after, using some ebook plays and some getting lucky on defense. Would you say that you got a little lucky on defense, or was it just the guys making plays?
Wow, Christian Lewis dropped another bomb as we speak. This Colts defense is getting shredded alive. 32-yard rocket.
Can you give me what play specifically would you be talking about?
Oh, I was just talking about the
like
in route over the middle.
We got that strip.
Oh,
yeah.
that was
a Buda Baker, a playmaker making plays. He came down with it. He made a football move. I hit R1 and Buda Baker just made a play. Nothing more I can ask. That's what the kid is. He's a playmaker.
Well, you're not wrong. Well, I mean, I've asked all my questions. Do you have anything you want to say, Fallen?
Can you change your name in the Discord to Win for Steve, please?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna keep it as Luca's daddy for a little while, then we'll change it over.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Good win. Madden was certainly in your favor. That certainly doesn't change our opinion on Luca. We still think he's a very, very solid user. I think next year he's going to shock a lot of people if they look down and underestimate him. I think, as you saw before, his defense and his run game are ways to win, but he's prone to making some mistakes there in the passing game. But thanks for coming on here after the game. Congrats on the win, Coach, and hopefully we can see win for Steve. Win for Steve.
Thank you. We're going to go get sloppy drunk. Wait, I just said that on the air.
Well, we'll blurb that one out there. We'll have our producer.
Thanks for having me.
All right, later, Coach. Have a great day.
Take care.
Win for Steve. Now it looks like Colts are trying to rearrange their defense to only have one down lineman. That's sort of interesting. And that's going to be over the middle, just baiting the user on that one. Watson is 9 of 12 for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. As the Texans have creeped up all the way to the 1 yard line.
Knock it on the door, Tommy.
This Colts defense is getting absolutely shredded. I mean, I had seen earlier in a past presentation we had labeled him as a pretender, but not only do you go out and you lose to Bad Vibes, who's in your division, but then you go out and you're having a very tough time here. It's 14-0, potentially at least 17-21-0. If Houston scores again here, this is almost out of reach if you're the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the Colts got a little bit head over heels. They thought that they'd come into Houston and take care of business, but obviously it's not that easy.
And then we're gonna see there. That's gonna be an inside zone play there. Only gain of about 2 there for Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller is one of those shorter, shiftier backs, typically you think of those guys as strictly pass catcher. Lamar Miller has the rare ability to run the ball very consistently. Definitely something. So you see win for Steve blowing up in the chat as they're going to go empty set here for Texans. And just going to roll out
Wide
the
open
field
in the end
wide
zone.
open. Wow. Excellent play there by Texans as Deshaun Watson is on fire.
Yeah, the Colts are getting smacked in the mouth right now.
Wow.
And they have no answer.
This is not pretty at all.
Yeah, and honestly, to allude back to what you were saying before, Trevor's a pretender. I don't think there was any doubt in anyone's mind after he lost to Jaguars earlier, but after showing up flat against the Texans, I don't even think he makes it out of the first round, to be honest with you, Tommy.
Yeah, and going back to that, these aren't just random opponents on his schedule. These are division teams. So if you think he's got to play the Jaguars, I don't know if he has to play them again or the Texans again, but going into next year, you've got to play both those teams 4 times, and they've both shown the ability to beat you, and not only beat you, but beat the shit out of you. Being honest with you, you can't see they didn't dominate at all in that Jaguars game, and here you see. I mean, they look like my dad's Pee-wee football team against NFL players going on here, as they haven't been nothing. That looked almost like a switch there. Luck did playing in straight Trevor form. I remember back in the day, there was a poll going on. It was like, who would choke their season array by throwing 5 picks in a game? The number one guy on that poll was Trevor, and he's certainly showing it here. 3 picks, you can't win ball games like that, especially against very good users here. As Luck has been all over the board, that's going to be a sack. Jadeveon Clowney making mincemeat there of the left tackle, Anthony Costanzo. It's going to set up 3rd and 20 as things are just doom and gloom here for the Colts.
If I may interject as the producer, I just want to say that the Texans are shaving Trevor's sideburns at the moment.
Oh, man. You'd said he needed help with shaving them sideburns there as a beta male. You'd put up on a Snapchat story the other day how he...
Weebs are better than beta.
Oh, man. All right, now. Andrew Luck going to drop back. The only thing he can get is a tight end drag route there. That's only going to be complete there for about 14. And maybe Houston punts it, throws it, chucks it deep. I don't know. Maybe they're going to let it run out. If I'm the Houston here, I'd call my timeout. I'd say, let's see if we can win it.
Yeah, it seems like the Texans are going to let this clock run down to 0. And, looking back, I think everyone's looking at Trevor as a target. He's got a target on his back after his coach made some bold statements about how they'd go 13-3, and shock some people in the playoffs. And, after changing his Discord name to Don't Sleep, I believe. Isn't that what it was? Don't Sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Then going out and the very next week, and posting this outing against the Houston Texans. No disrespect to the Texans, but many people thought that he was in control of this division, and now we know we got 2 competitive users. Maybe next season, this division just won't be so easy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you think we had always said his record was very, very inflated, and I think this is a prime example here. Not only are you getting outworked here, but you're getting out-muscled by Houston Texans team that certainly has question marks of their own. If you look at this Indianapolis offense as they get a nice cheesy break tackle there, Houston all over it. I think you'd take Indianapolis's offense versus the Colts defense. While the Colts defense has their superstars, Indianapolis certainly has the wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, and the quarterback to light up that weak secondary. Obviously, Texans have that front 7 with Watt and Clowney. They've got the star power there with some players, but I think you take the Colts in this one, as that's going to be finally a decent play, but he's going to get absolutely beat. He's going to get, his bell rung on that play as Justin Reed laid the wood on that one there, but nonetheless still a gain of about 10, good enough for a first down. So maybe the Colts can get something going here. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you guys hit it spot on in your podcast about talking, saying that he was a pretender. The record was definitely inflated. Like it's just like you guys just hit it so spot on. Like I honestly thought that you guys like went back and like went into the future or something and like predicted something like this to happen. Like this almost just doesn't happen every day, but literally everything you guys came to say came true, and I just don't think that's a coincidence.
And now he's going to try and hit this PA deep post here. This is a very cheesy play here when you see it run. It's going to exploit the AI, and he's going to be deep. Yep, there you go. And that's the stat pad right there. You wonder how he got 1,000 yards halfway through the season? It's plays like that, and that's just cheese right there.
Yeah, it's just sad to see, you got your backs to the wall, and instead of trying to actually go down the field and get a legit drive, you have to, get a one-play, 60-yard touchdown. It's just sad to see.
And that's not what we're trying to do here in this league. If you're gonna just try and run the score up with a guy and simply, feed the ball to one guy like Deion Gain, that's something I wouldn't want anyone doing. As believe it or not, Houston only outgaining Indianapolis by 20 yards, but the difference in the game has been those 3 turnovers by Andrew Luck. As Houston's going to come out in a pistol set now, they're going to motion a tight end out, see what they're going to come up with here, and it's going to actually be a pass here by Deshaun Watson. Simply looks, fires, and that's going to be way over the fullback's head as they had him beat. They had no one covering the fullback out there. They had motion.
Yeah, you got to think there should have been a guy out there, right?
No. No. They edge defender went with the tight end that motioned out. As now you're gonna get 3 receivers off to the left. You're gonna have Lamar Miller to the right of Deshaun Watson the gun. It's gonna be an inside zone, and it's gonna be a huge tackle there by Anthony Walker, I believe, up the middle. That sets up 3rd and 11 for the Houston Texans offense, and maybe, just maybe, Indianapolis can get a stop here and get the ball back and hopefully not turn it over again. As we're going to see a bunch right now for Houston. Hopkins, a single receiver to the left, one-on-one man coverage. Hardly any safety help over the middle. That's something you want to be doing with the Colts secondary. As Watson's going to drop back. He's going to look. He's going to throw. He's going to be wide open. It's going to be caught deep. Demaryius Thomas on the edge.
His defensive lineman just stood there and looked at him. I'm not really sure what that was.
He is spying his defensive lineman. That would be why.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That makes more sense.
It looked like one of them went to spy and the other one's went to contain, so he's really only rushing 1.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that's a, part of the rules, but that's not for me to decide.
Yeah, as a pass was just barely broken up, incomplete. Let's see what Houston come up with now after that tough completion there. I mean, that was an absolute missile to Demaryius Thomas. With him being healthy, you think certainly helps out, especially with allowing Will Fuller to play the slot, and you have the best wide receiver in the game, DeAndre Hopkins. Plenty of weapons here. Need to add a little bit of a tight end there and build on that offensive line. But we'll see. Deshaun Watson, certainly, as we know, he's got all the potential in the world. Can definitely be an effective quarterback as he's dropping back. He's going to fire. He's going to dump it off there to Lamar Miller in the flat. It's going to spin, and that's going to be good enough for almost a first down, depending on where they spot it. And it looks like the referees are going to come up a little bit short there, still working on the left hash. That'll set up about 3rd and 1 on the Colts 30-yard line. Definitely in field goal range here for the Texans, as the Texans are going to come out with a little bit of jumbo, old school power set. Going to have fullback off to the right behind their guard, tight end right, and Lamar Miller behind Watson in the eye. He's going to drop back to pass. It's going to be some sort of slant concept. He's going to roll out. He's going to dump it off there to Demaryius Thomas, and that looked weird. That was an interesting play.
If I was the Houston Texans here, I'd go for it.
Oh, yeah, I think you got to go. Oh, and
And
they're going to
ooh,
miss the field goal. Yeah, I
ah,
think I would go for it as well if I was in
yeah, I
that
would have definitely
situation.
gone for it. You know, kept my foot on the gas. You know,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're going against someone like Trevor. You know, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
who's like he's gonna like try to cheese to get down the field and whatnot. So gotta keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. But
All right, and I'm back as your host. Had to take a light refreshment break there. Doing double back-to-back games, doing a double header. Had to go get something to drink, and now we're gonna see. Looks like we're gonna pick up here at 3rd and 3 at the own 44-yard line. Luck's gonna be dropped back in a fire off, dumping the flats to Wilkins. We're gonna make a huge cut there, and that's gonna be a first down there for the Colts, getting things moving here, really trying to work the ball around. And
yeah, it seems like
try
this
and set
offense
one
is
up here.
finally finding his.
Yeah. All right, now it looks like Indianapolis is finally getting something going after just not even showing up in the first half. It looks to see that Indianapolis will set up here on 1st and 5 after the penalty. They're going to motion Wilkins out of the backfield, trying to get him isolated one-on-one with the corner. Luck going to be in the gun. He's going to drop back to throw. He's going to look. He's going to fire. He's actually going to scramble out there. Just run for the first down there for about 5, maybe 6 yards there. Either way you look at it, he slid right underneath the Tyrann Matthew tackle there. You got to think maybe Luck, one of those kind of guys who he's not afraid to lower the shoulder and try and pick up tough yards that way. All right, now Luck going to be under center, 2 tight ends to the left. He's going to fake the handoff to Wilkins, try and hit that deep play action boot play, and this time he sells for the check down there with Ebron. Good for about 8 or 9 yards. Sorry, actually a gain of about 6 there, not as much as we had initially thought. A kind of staple of this Colts offense, and one of the things they're highly susceptible to, which it's one of their biggest strengths, but also one of their biggest weaknesses, is they have the ability to just they like to hit deep play action plays, which are fine because you can get big chunk plays, but it's also cheese because one of the linebackers react to it way too stupid. But on the downside, it's a long play that takes a while to develop, which leads to more sacks. Especially, it's not something you want to work for against an aggressive team that is a very good pass rush like the Texans. As it's another low point cheese pass there. As now we're going to see Luck lined up in the gun. Wilkins beside him again. 2 receivers on both sides. He's going to just simply dump it off again in the flats down there to Wilkins, trying to get them completions up. Take what the defense is going to give him. That's going to set up about 2nd and 8 now on the Texans' own 13-yard line now. They're desperately trying to cling on and stop the momentum as the Colts are looking to score 14 straight points here. They're going to be another inside handoff give to Wilkins, who he'll grain out about only one there. And that defensive front for the Texans is very stout up front. They've got a big mammoth of a man, DJ Reader. They've also got Christian Covington. They've got J.J. Watt out there also on the interior. And J.J. Watt, a jack of all trades. He can play wherever you want him to. We've got Benerick McKinney, who's a very tough guy. And obviously we all know Jadeveon Clowney is possibly one of the most athletic players and one of the best defensive players in the league.
Huge third down right here.
Yeah, huge third down. It looks like the Texans are going to come out in their 3-4 set. Not what you want to do out there. And they're going to roll. They're going to fire. And they're going to guess who? Deon Cain. That pass is going to be complete out there for a first down. Now that's going to set up 1st and goal at the 3.
Yeah, and looking back, that decision to kick a field goal instead of potentially going for the score, it's just coming back to haunt the Texans now. And even if you did get points, it wouldn't. I don't know, that field goal opportunity is just something that you just can't do. You can't miss.
And you also have to think, when you kick the field goal, you're losing yards if you don't get it. You're losing yards if you miss the field goal, else if you just go for it and they've got it at about the 29-yard. That's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher, but that's what gets teams killed. They play too conservative, and much momentum just swings the other way.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna see. Oh shoot! He got lucky there.
Wow, he got really lucky. That was a hit if I've ever seen.
And it looks like we've got some.
Watch this slant over the middle, Tommy.
Let's see what it is. Let's see. Can you Tony Romo it? There you go.
Yeah, and this Colt offense decided to score. 14 straight points. We'll see if the Houston offense can answer back. I mean, you just don't like to see coaches being conservative, but that's just something you got to deal with. It's a part of the game, and we'll see if they can answer back. Deshaun Watson's been playing exceptionally well. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but it's just you just gotta hope that you can carry some of that momentum into this into the drive right here.
And it looks here we have the it's gonna claw out about 7 yards there on that one. As we say this, it looks like we have the Boofcast Communication Network here. We've got some new hot take submissions. We're gonna have the Boofcast questions, Boofcast archives. No more podcasts. There's also the Boofcast channel, which we're in right now, in the Boof Network live stream.
Could I call our producer BMAC on the stage real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I think
Okay. Yeah.
All right. What do you got for me? Oh wait.
Fortunately, my daughter just got in a car accident, and I gotta go attend. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you need me to take your place.
I don't. Yeah. don't want to leave my good friend Tommy here without a sidekick. So
I got
Alright,
you.
sweet. I
Alright.
hope her the best. I wish her well.
yeah, pray for
Yep.
her, man.
All right, we'll keep her.
She
and
is.
Steve
She's in
Wilkes
our
your
prayers.
prayer. Her
Yep.
and Steve
I'll
Wilkes.
definitely be watching when I get back from the hospital.
All right, we're gonna call her
All right.
Stevie. Do it for Stevie.
All right.
All right. So we got another deep bomb to DeAndre Hopkins.
And that is caught as there. If there's a weakness on this Colts defense,
Yo,
it's the secondary.
did Trevor watch when the Bills played the Texans and what happened when DeAndre Hopkins got pressed? Don't do it.
Mm-hmm. And now
Oof.
Texans, if they go down and score right here, they're going to suck all the momentum back up here. As to Watson's
Yep.
going to be in the gun here. They're going to look to spread him out, and that's going to be an actual inside zone handoff there. And Jabal Sheard, one of the finer standout players on this defense.
Yep,
They're gonna hit that one up.
Yep, that was just an inside zone play. They don't block the backside, but the problem was the backside was a little inside the tackle there, or a little was on the tackle. Or it's tough to run an inside a zone on a defense that's got their ends in, especially when you're not gonna block one.
And they're gonna go with a simple play action there, fake the handoff there to Lamar Miller, wait for the deep pass, and Watson's actually gonna roll
Deshaun!
out. Oh my goodness!
Deshaun Watson
That's a hell
looking
of a
like
throw.
Big Joe back there, the quarterback, pulling it out against the new Big Joe. Tommy, what a play! Deshaun Watson's magic, man.
Wow,
He's just magic.
that's absolutely a backbreaker there. If you're the Houston Texans,
Or if you're the Colts,
sorry,
this could be the dagger drive.
Colts. Yeah, I mean if you're a Houston Texans fan, you're doing cartwheels on this one. As we're gonna see Deshaun Watson make a couple adjustments here.
I know Bill O'Brien's not. He wants this ball in the end zone, but they're gonna let the quarter run out here.
Smart play.
Colts up against the wall here at the start of the fourth quarter, or end of the third quarter.
First and goal from about the 7, still very tough. We'll see what they can do.
We'll see if the Texans try to come out and run the ball here or trust in Watson. They got the two tight ends out there to the right side.
And we're going to send a receiver in motion there. Watson's going to drop back. So he's going to look. He's going to actually be sacked on the play there as the pressure came up right in front of him. Al Woods there.
That's that Colts aggressive pass rush, man. They do it a lot, and when they need it, they get it. Jeez. If there's anyone who abuses
The aggressive
Madden, it'd be this Colts team. They know what to do. They know how to make the plays.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like, we'll exploit in the game here. As Watson's going to drop back. He's actually going to look. He's going to dump it right off there as Will Fuller makes a big play. Deshaun Watson,
You put on the
11 and 3
yeah.
touchdowns. This is a hell of a game by Watson. Under new coaching, Chris and Los there, really looking to make a mark.
Yep. Deshaun Watson said, "Oh, you're going to aggressive pass rush, cheese? Well, shoot, I'm just going to roll out."
Yeah, it's perfectly legal there, especially when the pressure's all in his face. As it looks like the Colts are lined up in some sort of 44 defense here as Watson's dropping back. He's going to look. He's going to roll out to his right this time. Look to extend the play, and he's going to actually fumble it. Wow. Very lucky that fell out of bounds, but holding in his right hand, typically you're going to see those go out of bounds rather than in his left.
Tommy, that was a close one. Deshaun Watson looks to make plays, but you got to be more careful than that.
Yes, typically. That was also his thing, though. Does he play too aggressive? And it's going to be a rare miss.
Colts getting locked out here. You know what? Sometimes he predicted a Super Bowl championship, and sometimes the Super Bowl winner is just the luckiest team out of all the good ones. A team that gets the most breaks, man. Andrew Luck drops back, throws short, and to Deion Kane. He spins off, but is eventually tackled down by, I believe, Fit Dylan Cole for only a gain of 4.
Yeah, huge completion there. That's
little extra
sticks
padding
with
never
him,
hurt
yeah.
little extra padding never hurt nobody, you know. Little extra meat on the bone, you know. Inside zone handoff as I believe that Jordan Wilkins is dragged down by the defensive. Who was that? Whitney Merciless?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Colts go over 100 rushing yards on the day. Short to Wilkins. Wilkins, flag is down, and Wilkins is out of bounds up above the 40, but it's coming back as Matt Slauson, who comes back on this drive after being hurt on the last touchdown drive.
That's going to definitely set Colts back on that one.
And now against this great Texans pass rush on 3rd and 12, Andrew Luck's going to have to step in there and make a throw.
That's a tough one. That's tough.
Very, very tough. Could be karma.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Colts come out here in a 3-wide set. Doyle in line. Wilkins in the backfield. Luck drops. Gets to the angle route and cheeses for a first down.
There you go. Just as we had thought.
Halfback angle. Wow, bunch of play action, deep shot plays, halfback angles. Makes you really think if the Colts are a good team or just a team that's exploiting certain mechanics. Here they are. It appears they're going play action again. Luck drops deep, throws, and it's caught by Ryan Grant.
That's one of the cheesier plays in the game there at PA Crossers.
Yep, especially against man coverage, trips formation. Really makes you wonder what's going on that Colts sideline. They have another 3-wide formation, bunch with the tight end. Wilkins in the backfield. Luck looks, drops deep, throws short to Wilkins, who is just blasted. Just blasted by Jonathan Joseph. But with a little over 7 minutes to go.
There. Yeah, he's lucky he held on to that one there. Still 7 minutes left.
Colts getting really lucky here. Some of these hits the Texans are applying. You better watch out. Else you're gonna fumble, and karma isn't so friendly, my guy. As it's an inside zone handoff, as Wilkins is pretty much stuffed. No gain. That Texans defensive line just stood up. Big 3rd and 4, and what a surprise, we have another. He's going back to the inside zone.
And it's running back who's huffing and puffing there, and Zach Cunningham's going to swallow him up there.
Zach Cunningham swallows him up, and it appears that they ran it to set up to go for a 4th down, and that's not a huge surprise considering how much time is left in the game.
Yeah, you can't really complain here. I guess if you're Indy, rather than just simply kicking the field goal normally, you want to go for it here.
What a surprise! We have a halfback angle on this play. And a drag route.
Interesting. There.
And a flat route. As Doyle, he might take this all the way. Doyle inside the 10, down at the 6.
As that certainly beat the coverage there. You got to think you got to hit the two simple routes there, but instead he goes to the one opposite of what we all thought he was going to do.
Yep. Breaking away from tendencies. So he goes 3 tight ends here in the red zone. Jordan Wilkins in the backfield.
Jordan Wilkins is bent over. He looks like he needs an oxygen tank. You can't keep him in after that, coach.
21 carries. Someone else has got to be on there. I mean, it's just bad roster management to not have another running back at the moment.
Right? There's got to be some sort of other running back left.
Yeah, is Marlon Mack hurt still, or what's going on?
I don't know. That does not look good there. Got to sub him out at some point, I hope.
But he's back there in the backfield again. 2nd and goal from the 3. Under 5 remaining.
He can't even be effective running the ball. He's almost walking.
Yeah, he's so tired. 22 rushes. Jordan Wilkins just is not meant to take that kind of load. It's amazing. It's amazing how he's still going.
Wow, and he is still in the game here.
Just an unreal performance from Jordan Wilkins. Just an absolute warrior out there. As the Colts have a huge 3rd down. 3rd and goal from the 2, and it appears they're going to go with a slant.
Triple tight end set with T.Y. Hilton. Who's
audible to a drag. And Luck is pressured, and the throw is incomplete.
In situations like this, you'd almost want to have another running back where you can just
where you can hand it off to fresh legs, maybe throw a toss or something. I don't know.
Even hit him out of the backfield here. Actually, just receiving score update now. The Bengals clawed out a win over the Chargers there, as we had thought the Chargers had been a pretender all along. The Bengals get their 4th one of there.
Yep. As the 4th and goal handoff to Wilkins. Wilkins finds a way into the end zone, and the Colts have come all the way back. Jordan Wilkins with an absolute gutty performance today as he gets the Colts into the end zone, and we have a tie game here with 4 minutes left. Just a really nice drive by the Colts, extended by some questionable play calling.
That's an interesting one for sure, as the Texans here are going to take this kickoff. Look to get something going here, as Deshaun Watson made an excellent play there back to end it. You got to think they haven't had any problems moving the ball.
You got to think here that the Texans are going to drive down and just kick a field goal and win this game. They haven't had any problem moving the ball. It's just been scoring in the second half. They have not been able to score a point. They've missed 2 field goals, 1 point blank.
Well, nonetheless, we'll see what they can come up with here. They're going to line up in the eye with the tight end right and receivers both on each side. Watson going to be on his side. He's going to turned off. Yeah, and that's solid. You'll take that any day of the week. Gain of about 5 or 6.
Colts got to watch for the play action coming here. Maybe when they get a 2nd and short later in this drive. But for now, the Texans are looking to be in a 3-wide set, Tommy.
All right. Well, so rather than pass the ball here, or rather than run the ball, they look to come out in obvious passing formation here. Colts are adjusting things up front.
Yep. Handoff goes to Lamar Miller and falls forward for gain of 3, and we got 3rd and short. Big 3rd down here.
This is an interesting one here, as Houston's going to come out in a 3-wide set, but Colts are going to counter and not match. They're going to go with a 4.
And they're going to go heavy on defense to stop what they think is going to be a run. 3rd and 1. A little over 3 minutes to go. Watson drops back. It's doing complete.
Wow.
The Colts defense stands up. And they're going to have a chance to miraculously come back and possibly win this game.
Dude, the Texans have just choked this away. They could have secured one of the biggest wins of the season. That is a huge punt by the Texans. Pins them at the 7.
It's about down inside the 10. The Colts are going to have to rely on their famous cheese plays, I believe, as they come out in the trips formation again. As the handoff goes to Wilkins, who still keeps getting all the carries. You got to think there's someone else on that sideline, but apparently there isn't. And all they got over there is the rotting corpse of John Pagano to be their only running back. And you don't want to do that. So we're coming up right on the 2-minute warning. 2.5 minutes left. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, 2nd and 8 now. Texans are loading the box up. Definitely trying
And
to
they
stop
got
the
him on
run,
a
and
slant.
T.Y.
Ty
and he's
breaks.
gonna to 2 or 3 tackles there.
Yep, and he gets a first down. T.Y. Hilton on the slant, one of his better routes. As we come up here on the 2-minute warning. Who will win this division battle? The Texans fighting for a wild card spot, but the Colts fighting for a first-round bye. In this matchup of division rivals.
And that is a very tough situation if you put yourself in. All the pressure's on your defense, you know. Everyone has the everyone. Sorry, the Colts have all the pressures. They're gonna try and set up the screen there to Wilkins as he's gonna catch it and stumble forward there for a first down. It's gonna keep the clock running now. They're gonna go in the no huddle. Look for some sort of play action. She's now in the 2-minute drill. Not necessarily what you want to see.
Nope, we're going to go with that vertical. There appears to be a hold, and the pass is deflected by Tyrann Mathieu. And Quentin Nelson, the stud rookie, called for a hold. That's tough. Right there if you're the Colts. First and 20 with 1:40 left, and they're going to go an inside zone, and that gets stuffed. What are they doing? Are they just content to go to overtime? It appears so, as it's 2nd and 20, and you can't imagine they're going to be calling any sort of major pass play after that call.
Mm-hmm. And when you're backed up inside the 10, you have a less than 10% chance to score any sort of points. So
yep, but 2nd 20, they're going to throw it under a minute to go. Throw short. Oh my God!
Oh no!
Oh, that should have been picked. That should have been game. Wow, Andrew Luck bailed out, and they got 3rd and 20 to try and get a first down here, else the Texans will miraculously have another chance.
And they've got all 3 touchdowns left, so if you're Indianapolis, I think you've got to just run the ball and take a timeout.
You'd think, but no, Luck's coming out empty.
They're going to go empty set and
5-man rush. Luck throws up the seam, and it's incomplete.
Wow, Jordan Wilkins probably worn out after taking all those carries.
Yeah, probably not the guy you want to be throwing too deep out of the slot, but you know.
And now Texans are going to have very, very good field positions.
Right.
They're punting it in the 20-mile-an-hour winds, and looks like Will Fuller's going to catch it at about the midfield mark, actually about the 45-yard line, as they only need about 20 yards to go up and attempt a field goal. Obviously, their kicker just missed a gimme, but your percentage of scoring is very, very
very high.
It's in terms of yardage wise, you're looking at about 35% from this position.
Yeah, you're not asking for a whole lot here. You got 42 seconds, 3 timeouts, and an offense that has played mostly great for most of the day. So Watson rolls back.
Back to pass. He's going to drop. He's got all the time in the world. Just simply dump it off. Let your guys make plays there. That's good for about 10. Or about 9 or 10, and you can't complain on that one. Take what the defense gives you, you call a timeout, and you still got 35 seconds left. As now they're going to come out in this spread look again. Lamar Miller to the left. Hopkins isolated one-on-one on the corner to the left. Watch that play there. You might be trying to test him. Tight end and 2 receivers to the right. As Watson's going to take the snap. He's going to look. He's going to roll out. Just dump it off in the flats. Get out of bounds. Good enough for a first down there.
Yep.
As you can't complain there, as now you're in real striking distance here. You've only got to go a couple more yards.
You just got to get yourself about another first down here. And if you want to feel safe, maybe 20 yards, feel safe. Another 10 yards to really feel good about it. To really feel good about trying the field goal. As his kicker is Kamari Fairburn, I believe.
I think so.
Kamari Fairbairn's got some leg to him as they come out empty formation. Miller in the slot to the right. Watson drops back, pass rush on him, and he's sacked.
Wow, that's a bailout play.
That's a huge sack, and it's 2nd and 5. Not that down and distance matters, but Now they only have one timeout left. That's a killer.
Well, just don't make stupid throws here, and either way you look at it, you can at least take it and go to overtime, as no one is on Will Fuller out there.
Mm-hmm. Watson
we'll
drops back, fires, intercepted.
Wow.
Out of bounds at the 26. And the Colts, are they going to try to be aggressive?
Well,
It appears they are.
110%. I'd say it any single day of the week. What you don't want to see, if you're the Colts, is an interception here, and Houston can just kick the ball if it's anything short.
Right. You just want to be careful here. If you're the Texans, play conservative defense. Mm-hmm. The Colts are going to be very aggressive. Luck drops back, rolls out, throws across the field. It's caught by Deon Cain.
And there's the rollout.
Up to the Texans 40.
This is just disappointing.
This is very disappointing. You don't want a game to end like this, especially a game of this magnitude. And this, it was a mostly high caliber game, a game that was played well, but you don't want to see that. As they come out of the chips formation, tight end in line, Wilkins again in the backfield. Luck throws short to Wilkins, gets about 6, and they call timeout. 34-yard line. Will they try again or just leave it to Adam, as the running back today has 7 receptions, and I believe almost 23 carries. That's 30 touches for one running back. I mean, and it's not a bell cow running back, but if they don't have anybody else, then what can you really do?
I think if you're Indianapolis, you're just looking to line the ball up here, and it's going to be, oh my goodness, he's going to get absolutely hammered there. So that's going to.
You're going to call timeout with a second left and bring on Adam Vinatieri for a 53-yard field goal to win it.
13-mile-an-hour winds here, nonetheless.
Oh man, this is going to be a tough kick for Adam Vinatieri. I don't believe. Oh, the Texans and Bill O'Brien's going to make sure.
Yeah. Yep.
If anyone can make this kick, it's Adam Vinatieri. Wow. 13 miles an hour into the tough. Houston win. Kick is up. It is short.
Wow.
Short by a yard. And we are going to overtime.
So now, can Trevor cheese his way and get the ball? And it's going to be...
the Colts ball?
Mm-hmm. Not what you want to see here. When you get the ball in overtime, your odds of winning are just simply higher because you can go down, score a touchdown, and boom, you're done. Obviously, yeah. And especially against a cheesy team like this Colts, this is not what you gotta be.
You gotta watch, especially. I mean, yeah.
Especially with that rollout and dump off to Deon Cain to pat a couple stats there.
Inman will take this from the 5. Looks up the field, tackled by a host of a couple Texans at the 27. As here we go. Andrew Luck with a chance and the Colts to stamp a mark on this season and get to double-digit wins. And the Texans a chance here in overtime to keep their wild card hopes alive.
Yeah, and I think one of the big storylines going into OT here is look at Jordan Wilkins. He's got 30 touches for one single running back. That's just simply not realistic at all. And I think you have to at least keep 2 to 3 running backs on your roster healthy at all times. Especially
yes, absolutely.
With the league that we want, and that
is incomplete, but intended for guess who?
Deon Cain.
I feel bad for Andrew Luck. He shouldn't be forced to do this.
As it's going to just simply wait and hit the Big Joe slant for
Deon Cain.
Deon Cain.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 44. Ryan Grant in motion. Luck
Nice.
drops back, looks, throws the quick drag. Grant gets, I think, a first down. Nope, just barely short.
And as this Colts offense is just moving the ball up and down on this overtime, this is why really a lot of people are very against these new overtime rules. I think someone should have the ball, especially when they go and score like this. And on his 31st touch of the day,
No, that's his almost 35th.
sorry, 35th touch of the day.
This is, I mean, Jordan Wilkins, he deserves an award for this. This kind of performance right now.
All right, now we're gonna see double tight with Deion Kane, and we're gonna see
the official 35th touch for Jordan Wilkins.
Yeah, typically a guy that hasn't been looked at as a bell cow running back, but
Yeah, I know we're supposed to be bipartisan here on this broadcast, but it's really tough. It's really tough when someone does what the Colts are doing right now. From the 42, Jordan Wilkins gets it again, but cannot find any room. Zach Cunningham gets him down 3rd and short. The Colts do have the wind with them. They're going to go to, we'll see what they decide to call here.
it'll be interesting. I don't think
It'll be very
necessarily running it 30 or getting his 37th touch.
No, I don't think that would be.
Here.
No, I don't think you want to give it to a tired-ass running back who, for some reason, has 37 touches. As the Colts are going to come out here, and they're going to have appears to be Luck's favorite Z spot with the flat route in the slant. Luck throws short, and it's somehow caught by Hilton right in front of the linebacker. And the Colts keep driving as Luck is over 420 yards on the day. Nice.
He was already 300 yards ahead of the next guy before this game. His numbers are going to be absolutely almost on pace to maybe break the single season record at this pace.
Whoa. That's kind of crazy, wouldn't you think? I mean, especially with the way he's doing it, it's As Wilkins takes the handoff, trucks over the corner, and he gets inside the red zone on his 30. Yeah, that's his 37th touch of the day.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow. If you're Christian Lewis, you've got to think the game is just. It's just. I don't even know how to explain it.
I don't even know how to explain it to you. I mean, if you're Kristen Lewis, do you feel robbed, cheated? Do you feel like you just blew the game? Or J.J. Watt.
Wow. So he was trying to pass it there for what, his 38th touch of the game?
Yep.
If I didn't know any better, it looks like the Colts are trying to take the entire drive out.
Take the entire time take all the clock out. That's pretty nice. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking all the time out of the clock in overtime, but here we go. 3rd and inches. What do the Colts do? Jordan Wilkins, 39th touch of the game. He gets the first down. He's going to go to the end zone. Game is over, and we are going to have some issues. But in terms of the Texans, they just blew this game. Missed 2 field goals. There's no reason to. One's a gimme. They would have won this game in regulation. You feel bad for how it happened, but at the same time, you can't really feel too bad when they blew their chances. The Colts move to 10-3, and the Texans' playoff chances are looking worse and worse by the second. I believe that's it for me and my co-host here, Tommy, as we enjoyed
I'm gonna wrap it up here. This is a nice, healthy fight. This is a nice. This is a nice game here. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all probably tomorrow for the Saints Bucks game. Later, guys.